Coming up on the next episode of the Celsius Pod.
Why haven't you saved your game? True adventurer never saves! A true adventurer never saves. This is why you need to save your game.
Guys, podcast 65.
We have a very special episode today.
We have
Uri's off his rocker.
Who?
2 guest stars. We have Piper and Drunk Uri.
He's not drunk.
Yep.
He's just mildly
He's-
autistic.
Yeah,
Is that the worst?
You think that's the
What
worst?
a brilliant
Just
start.
never leave. Poor Nikola.
Wow. Wait, guys. Speaking of autism, this reminds me of what I've been watching. So I'm gonna
Young
talk.
Sheldon.
No, guys. So it was Valentine's Day this
Valentine's Day stories, guys. Let's go.
Oh, should I tell my
Okay.
Valentine's story?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But so Valentine's Day. So I was thinking,
I don't know what I did with my Matchmatic, so I can't.
I don't have
show
a
it. I can't
Valentine's,
show it.
so I'm gonna do the one thing I know how to do: watch TV.
Oh, of course.
So, guys, guess what show I watched? And well, you can probably guess it from the autism. I watched Love on the Spectrum.
Whoa!
And,
I've never heard of this.
Yo,
I've never
so
heard of
hype.
So
I have not heard of this either.
It's a show on Netflix where people
Reality
on the autism
TV?
spectrum. Yeah, it's where people on the autism spectrum they try to find love, and it's a really
This sounds like the worst show ever. Like, just
no,
like
it's so good.
There's all
just
these like clips on TikTok that
moralized.
you hear of like them just being like, so it seems like we both have autism, don't we?
Oh, it's
In the
that
British
show.
accent?
Yeah,
Wait, it's that show.
But this is the
that
American one.
show.
This is the U.S. version, and I
Oh,
got
okay.
really hooked. I got really hooked into the first 2 seasons that are out right now, and it's pretty freaking good. I would say there's this one woman named Danny, and her thing is I really like animation, and it's like this guy. What I do for fun, I go to Comic-Con. I'm really into making my own animation company. Perfect girl for you, Aiden.
This might be Beck.
I know. She's like,
Is
and
Beck
I really
on Love on the Spectrum?
It would make great podcast content.
and she's like, I really like animation, and the guy, I think her date's like, so what do you like to do outside of animation? She says, I'm really into drawing.
hey,
This sounds like a fucking hobby. Yeah, no. So she's really into animation. That's her big thing. He needs to find out how can the guy's telling her I know I think I'm into astronomy, but how does astronomy fit into animation exactly? And she's like, animation is her big thing. There's Kaylin, and she's actually dating a more a neurotypical guy, regular guy. And they seem to really hit it off after their first date, but in the end of the show when they do the 2 months later and the blah 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 is Peter has canceled on her for a second date.
what the hell?
Why would Peter
And-
do that? Is
and
he?
so
Is he also
it's a
autistic?
really no, he's not. And it's really wholesome. It's very investive. You might say, is it a bit exploitative? Maybe.
Yeah,
Absolutely. But how else would we make our money?
Yeah. But it's really wholesome. If you watch it, you will get invested in these people's love lives. It could be very beautiful. But obviously, since humanity is mostly a shit show, I got to level myself out with watching something very dark. So we can be in a little gray zone, which is what most people live in. So I watched another thing on Valentine's Day that is also have to do with love, called Lover, Stalker, Killer. It's a new
What the
documentary. It's a documentary on
Uri would watch
Netflix.
something
And
like this.
I did warn
Yeah,
Piper beforehand.
Because he was like, okay, he's like, Uri is going to talk about some dark documentary where women get killed.
cross it off the list, Beck.
On the bingo.
Also,
So
bingo
okay.
card. There was more.
So-
I have a list going of stuff we talk
And
about.
s-
Oh, do
and
you? Okay,
so-
cool.
And so in this documentary, the guys all the guy moved to a new place. A guy moved to a new place, and he's on the dating apps. He's He's just trying because he just divorced his wife and like he lives near
That
his.
actually this kind of connects to my next show that I'll watch,
Shut up, Nikola. And
or like my movie
Not
that I
it's
watch.
not your turn.
and
Yeah,
so
but I'm just saying, like after him, I'll talk.
All right.
So I can
Okay.
make a connection.
Yeah.
and then so the guy's like he's in this new place and like he's trying to his wife, his ex-wife and kids still live close to him, but he's in this new place. He's on the dating apps. He's dating this girl Liz. He went on a date with this girl Liz, and like he has some connections. And then you're like, okay, he finds another date. Her name is Carrie Farver. And like, they have a really
be
nice time. One night, they're hanging out, him and Carrie Farver, and Liz just needs to get something because she left something there on like the previous date. And then they had like one quick, like, I guess, interaction, Liz and Carrie. And then later, Carrie starts sending texts to the guy, and like, he says like, so I think we should move in together. And he's like, what? Move in? And then she goes on this rampage where she nonstop texts him, Carrie, like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your children. And she's like so intense, and like, it's very intense. So we got like Carrie keeps harassing him, and like he gets so scared he like buys a gun, and it's very.
I think
she
she's
keeps
just a
stalking
Scorpio.
him. She keeps stalking him. And then she threatens Liz. She threatens Liz. And then eventually she burns down Liz's house with her pets inside the
fuck?
house. And it's very intense. And while that, we also get like a story of Carrie Farver's mom and how Carrie just went missing. And like we don't know really what happened. And the police are looking for Carrie. And so he's getting harassed by Carrie, and well, Carrie's also missing. And then here's the big twist, guys. Carrie
What?
died, and Liz was pretending to be Carrie. And she
She
burned
burned down
down
her own
Liz.
house.
something strange.
Yeah, and Liz killed Carrie. And yeah. And so that's pretty crazy.
That's an actual twist.
No,
Yeah,
it's just
I was
something
not
that
expecting that.
I didn't
doing.
see that
Yeah.
coming.
And yeah, and so she was sentenced to like life in prison, Liz.
Yeah,
And
no doubt.
yeah. And
That's
and so that's what I watch. I've mostly been watching Love on the Spectrum, and I watched that. Been really invested. But Beck, you have a Valentine's Day story?
I
No,
do.
I was gonna transition into my
Okay.
movie because it's kind of related to also like
Oh yeah, Nicole, you were doing
two
Valentine's Day.
two people. Well, no, I'll get to that later. But this movie is like also about like a husband and a wife who are like kind of go insane. It's called Deep Water. It came out in 2022.
Oh, isn't that the movie that sucks?
It has low rating. It has 5.5 IMDb. I don't think
I
it's
mean, Uri,
horrible.
you said Hoodwinked was getting bad reviews,
I
and that's
love Hoodwinked.
see, fellow Hoodwinked.
I love that movie.
I mean, it
Both
has
of
a
them. There's two of them.
I like Hoodwink because it made our good shorts views.
It has an
True,
absolute
thanks.
stacked class. Like actors. It has
Yeah,
Anna de
it has
Armas as the wife.
Ben
it has Ben
Affleck.
Affleck as the husband.
It's made
It
by the
has
guy who made Euphoria. So
Jacob Elordi,
how
Finn
you know it's
Lordy.
Wittrock, Rachel Blackchard,
Okay,
Bendrick
just-
Miller.
You
Tell
just
us
Wait,
the
doesn't
fucking
other
Ben
movie
people.
plot.
Affleck also play the husband in like Gone Girl?
I feel
Yeah.
like you're just like
So
naming
basically,
things.
these two people, Ben Affleck and Anna de Armas, their name is Melina and Vic Van Allen. And they have a daughter named Trixie.
Okay.
And they live in
Trixie.
Louisiana.
Ew.
Vic used to make the guidance chips for drones, like the ones made by the U.S., like used by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
That'll
Like
come up
Lockheed
later
Martin.
in the story.
Okay.
Basically, their relationship is kind of open because Milena just kind of has a bunch of affairs openly, and it
course,
kind of
going on.
makes Vic increasingly jealous. while Melina kind of torments him with it, like saying like, yeah, I'm fucking other guys. And he's kind of getting pissy because of it.
That's fun.
Sounds like he should
At one
leave
point-
the relationship.
She has a new boyfriend called Joel. I don't know.
Joel?
Joel from The Last of Us. The new boyfriend, where Vic tells him that he murdered her first boyfriend, who had disappeared recently. Like recently had gone missing.
Damn.
This causes that boyfriend to move away. He moves to like New Mexico or something. He just said, I don't fuck with that heat. I'm a dip. And he left. It turns out the first guy was actually dead. So the husband should not have been going around and telling everybody that he killed him.
Because he didn't?
Because he didn't, but the boyfriend was actually dead. Turns out he was not the killer. Somebody else was and was caught.
Ooh, what a twist.
But
Nice.
wife has a new boyfriend who plays. Yeah, it's the boyfriend that plays piano, and then the people, they're like teaching each other how to play piano all the time. Like she takes piano lessons all the time. But like they basically show us that they're not learning the piano. Well, one time the wife gets a little bit aggressive in her methods, and during a house party invites Charlie to the house. And like invites him to like meet everybody. So when they're all in the pool, him and Charlie, the husband and Charlie are like the last ones in the pool, and everybody else had already left because it started raining. He kills him. He drowns him. He drowns the boyfriend, and then leaves, and then comes back, and then like an hour later they found his body, and they see his body floating in the pool, and they're like, holy shit, this guy's dead. And then the wife is like, yeah, Vic killed him. Like she's instantly like, yeah, I know it was my husband. Because he's jealous that I'm having an affair with this guy. So he murdered him.
Yeah,
But Vic
why
was
would
like,
you bring the person you're having an affair with to your house?
the point was to piss off the husband.
Yeah.
They should just get a
Because-
divorce.
They bring that up, but like she's like, oh yeah, but you won't divorce me because if you were by yourself, you'd kill yourself. And I don't know why he doesn't actually divorce her.
This is like another show that I watched this week.
So then after
This
that,
is a dark week, guys.
I got a
then
good.
and then he
lighthearted-
asks and then the wife is like, and then he later asked the wife like if she thinks I killed the guy, then like if she thinks he's the one that killed the guy, then why isn't she scared of him? And she was like, because I'm the one you killed for.
And they made
It's so
out.
stupid.
What?
What a line. What a line.
Either
right
way, one of the guys at the party was already suspicious of him because he's like a liberal and was really mad that he used to make chips for the US government making drones. He's like, so you're the one that was making the drones that were bombing civilians in Afghanistan.
Who specifically? What
It's
liberal
your fault.
knows? Who knows people who make the chips? Like you
I do.
specifically, guy who makes the chips.
But I guess they just I guess they just met because he didn't know that he made chips before the dinner party.
Okay.
So he's suspicious, and then after hearing the wife tell everybody that like including the cops that Vic was the one that killed him, he's basically like that, and he's also was like the last one to see those two alone in the pool together.
Damn.
Either way, they hire a private investigator to follow him, but he quickly figures it out. And then Melina reconnects with an old boyfriend, her first American boyfriend.
American. Ew, dude. Those
Like there was this
filthy
first boy,
Americans.
when she first came to America, there's this one guy that she used to date, and then like now he reconnected with her. So this is the new lover.
Okay.
How many fucking lovers is this?
Like literally, that's the whole point. Like after every single guy disappears or leaves or dies, she just gets a new one.
Is this
Well,
a movie
after-
or is this a true story?
It's a movie.
Okay.
I don't think it's based off of a true story, but it's a movie.
It better not be.
So So of course the wife starts getting even more aggressive with it. So she's like, "Oh, how about we just invite him over for dinner?" Like, so it's now just the husband, just the ex-boyfriend, who is clearly again having an affair with the wife, and the wife having dinner.
Sounds
And the
good.
wife is being like super obvious about the fact that she's like having an affair with this guy just to drive the guy insane, just to drive the husband
She's like, I
insane.
totally didn't have sex with this guy, and then like wink, winks, and
No, I
totally
know, but
did
she
not.
she said, "Oh, this is the guy. This is the first guy I ever fucked."
Oh,
And then
Wow.
I don't think you
to
say
the
that
husband,
typically.
and then the husband's kind of getting pissy because of that. So later, the husband is like
Oh,
finds
pissy.
like just finds him on the street and is like driving in some random rented 4x4 Ford Explorer and is like, "Hey, my wife." He's like driving. He's like, "Hey," like driving slowly next to the guy walking down the street. "My wife has this like has this new real estate in the woods that she's building. Do you want to come check it out with me?"
Yo, that's crazy.
And then he's just like, "Yeah, sure," and hops in the car with him.
Of course.
Bad
Who
idea.
wouldn't?
So then they drive to the stop, and he's like explaining, like, "Oh yeah, I used to go mountain biking with her all the time around these parts and stuff." And then they get to this one part, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call Milena," and then like for some reason he's driving like super quickly down this road, like 80
Wonder
miles per
why he did
hour,
that.
and it's like a super bumpy road. So this kind of gets shaken, and the guy's like kind of like now is kind of realizing like, "Oh, this guy's probably gonna kill me."
no way.
And
That's
he tries
now.
to call.
Before
So he's
there's
like,
no
"You know
red
what? I'm gonna
flags.
call the wife." And so he pulls out his phone. He's like, "Oh, I don't have signal." And he's like, "Oh," the Vic is like, "Oh, I forgot. Sorry, I guess you can't call him.
How do
Call
you
her."
forget
Oh.
signal?
So, no, he just like he forgot there was no signal in the woods, so he
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
I just forgot
You
that.
should
That
So,
wasn't.
forget.
they keep driving. They then reach the destination. They get out, and he's like, so where's Melina? And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." Then he picks up a rock and throws it at his head.
Yeah,
And,
of
and
course.
like it doesn't really do anything. It just bounces off, but then it makes his head all bloody. And he's like, "What the
Why'd you do
fuck?" And then he
that?
picks up a massive rock and just beats him over the head with it. But then the issue is he then fell over the edge. Like he's still kind of alive, but because he's like delirious now because of the concussion, he stumbles backwards and falls off the ledge and then slams his head against the rocks on the next to the water.
This guy really hates
Oh.
rock.
But because he's right next
hates
to the
being
river
alive.
and not in the river, what the guy had to do is the husband then had to climb down and tie up his arms and put a rock underneath so he's heavy and then move him to the center of the river. And
Yeah.
then he goes away. That night, his wife is like, "Hey, you know where we haven't been for a while?
The woods.
The river.
The woods." Yes, literally, the woods.
Is there just one woods?
So they go because
Yeah,
it's
of
like the
course.
spot.
There's
No, because it was
only
kind of
one.
explained that this was the spot where like they always like they had picnics and this is like kind of where they like learned to this is like where they kind of dated all the time and spent like the early parts of their life together before like the early parts of their marriage. So they're like, "You know what? Let's go back there again. Let's have a picnic." So they go back
picnic.
there, and at one point the daughter is like playing by the water, and Vix goes over to see it, and he looks in the water and sees that the guy's body has kind of floated up.
Yeah, of course. It's a river. Rivers aren't very deep.
Yeah. So then he's kind of freaking out. He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I have to come back later to fix that." So they drive off, and then the wife is like, "Oh my god, I forgot my red scarf back there. But we're like too far now. We can't turn around." And he's like, "Okay, it's fine. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll clean it. I'll pick it up for you."
Yeah, of course. And no other
So the next
reason.
day he goes, but the guy that was suspicious of him first and also hates him because he made the drones apparently followed him and also already found the red scarf and found him just like in the middle of the river with like a stick trying to push down the body. And he was like, "Hey, what you doing there?" And he's like, "Oh, I was just looking for the red scarf." And he's like, "Yeah, I found it. It was in the field. So what you doing with that stick?" He's like, "I told you, I'm just looking for the red scarf, but I guess you already found it." Then the hand floats up and he sees it. He's like, "Yeah." And he runs to his car and tries to drive away, but by now he's freaking out. This guy biked to the river
No.
So he had to chase the guy in the car on the bike. So the guy is like losing his mind and he's swerving all over the place because he's driving super fast because he's scared of this guy because he already killed somebody.
Because he's scared of the bike.
This guy, the biker Vic takes a shortcut through the forest and somehow ends up directly in front of the car, but falls off his bike. And then the driver, instead of just hitting him with the car, this already murderer hitting him with his car, he swerves out of the way, doesn't hit the brakes. While swerving, he keeps accelerating through the forest,
him?
off a cliff, and into another part of the river, and dies.
That sounds
because
cool.
the car gets
Wait, that was
crushed.
the murderer that drowned?
No, the guy that was
some
suspicious
other
of the
guy.
murderer.
Oh.
The other guy.
The husband then goes home, and it turns out that the first time he killed him, he took the guy's wallet. And that's something I've neglected to mention is this guy keeps snails. And it turned out he hid the wallet with like underneath a bunch of stuff, underneath some snails. The wife, while the guy was like going back to the place to fix the fix the body and find the scarf, she went to the snail place and somehow found the wallet of the guy who was murdered. So she kind of knows that, okay, if the first guy wasn't murdered, this guy was definitely murdered by the husband. I don't know. Apparently that turns her on or something, because then their marriage is fine after that. Like the movie ends with her burning the evidence of the wallet, and then they're just kind of like happy together. So it's kind of like, it's assumed that like
Who you deserve.
that they're like because like at least he was killing all the guys prove that he actually loved her.
So
or
it's
something
like
that.
you.
Yeah.
This movie sucks.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you
I don't
watch
know.
this?
Because my
Yeah.
parents watched it. I didn't even start watching it until like 40 minutes in, and it's like an
Oh.
hour and 50 minutes. So I watched like an
Yes.
hour and 10 minutes of it.
Wow.
Yeah, I
and you
know.
still gave us that
I
great
would say-
recap there, Nikola.
I was
Guy-
just
the guy who
half
made
the
the
movie.
the guy who made Deep Water is the guy who made like Euphoria and The
Yeah.
Idol, Sam Levinson. And so Sam Levinson, I think he was a one-hit wonder in like the first season
Yeah.
of Euphoria.
Well, what I'm
'cause-
saying is I don't think it's worth a 5.5 though.
Yeah.
Like my explanation kind of sucked, but like the movie itself, I don't think is a 5.5.
I think
It's at least a 6. I
I
wouldn't
think
give it
as-
as high as an 8, but like in between a 6 and like definitely below an 8. But like I think like a high 6 is warranted, like a 6.
Better than Argyle?
Maybe. How much was Argyle again?
I don't know. What did
much?
you?
$12
Yeah, that
a
was your
ticket.
opinion.
No, like IMDb.
I don't know. Bad. Nobody
Argyle.
liked
You don't have
Argyle.
it open? I was just reading off of Wikipedia the synopsis of the other film.
Oh, good.
but
Argyle is 6 out of 10.
Piper, you're laughing way too hard.
I had
Because I
water
was
in
just
my
reading
mouth.
the-
I didn't want to spit all over the.
Because I was just reading the plot off of Wikipedia
Yeah.
of what
That's a classic Nikola
of
movie.
Deep
You should
Water.
be there for the Silo review. 20 minutes of him.
and it was
of
just
him
me
No,
reading
reading
it was
the-
like 30 minutes of Silo.
It was
yeah, it was just me
painful,
reading the
though.
Wikipedia.
No, I think he can get a bit unwieldy in like the stories he tells, Sam Levinson,
Yeah.
and like I don't know if he really knows how to really pull it in at the end of the story, because like the end of Euphoria season 2 not very good. The entirety of The Idol, awful.
Oh, yeah.
Never watched that
Yeah.
for a reason.
And so yeah, but
All right, let's move on to some Valentine stories.
So Beck,
Let's
has
go.
a
Me
story.
next?
So Beck.
Nikola, do you want to tell your story?
Oh, I can tell my story. I have 2 stories. I don't know where I
have a
put my
question
mathematics
actually,
though.
Beck.
Yeah.
Did you have a Valentine's Valentine's Day? Did you have a
No.
Valentine?
I did not.
I did.
But did you?
Wow.
But Beck, did Lek Byans have one?
Lek Byans
Yeah, did Lek
also
Byans
did
have
not
one?
have one.
I
Sad
think it's
boy.
reverse.
Okay, maybe. Maybe Lek Byans was able to get a date on Valentine's Day, and then I was left alone to watch La La Land. So
thought you
for
watched it with
Valentine's
people, though.
Day, I, with 2 other friends, were like, guys, there was some other friends in the group, and they both had girlfriends. So we're like, we need to do something. The
What
no
losers.
girlfriend squad, and we're like, we should watch a movie. And we're like, what's a good Valentine's Day movie when you're alone? La La Land. You know,
That's what you.
I'm gonna spoil the ending for you. Sorry.
I've seen the movie.
Because they don't get together in the end. We're like, okay, that'll be good. That'll be like just like us. We'll have no girlfriend, but be very
It's like
successful.
that's
You know?
for real. Yeah.
Yeah. And
You
I watched
La
the
La
movie.
Land again?
This is my second time seeing it. Yeah.
No.
So I
Oh, you
watched
watch Lady Bird a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched La La Land. It is still insanely good. Definitely, it was very annoying having to watch that alone on Valentine's Day because it is very romantic. So I felt bad
Until
during
the
most
last
of the time.
5 minutes.
But it's still an insanely good movie. But the
Beck really like
funniest
the
thing
fact that
about
they
it,
don't end up together at the end.
yeah,
You
I
really
know.
like that.
He's just like me.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about this
Really?
movie to me is the director for this also made Whiplash. And it's so funny because this guy is just trying to convince people to like jazz so badly. Because all of Whiplash was like this guy doing jazz drumming the entire
Yeah.
time. And then in this movie, they cast Ryan Gosling, the everyman, as a guy who's fucking obsessed with jazz.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Everyone, of course.
I think this director really likes jazz.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he
I
does.
think he also made Babylon, and that
I don't
one
think
has
he
jazz in
did.
it.
I want to see that because
I don't.
I love both La La Land and Whiplash, but I've heard Babylon was terrible, and that's hard to believe.
I also heard
thought-
that Babylon was terrible.
Babylon? I thought that was like the critically acclaimed movie.
But yeah,
No.
La La Land will also kill me. Like the cinematography is amazing. It's so bright and colorful. They have
Yeah, I
amazing
think this
music
director
the
has a
entire
lot of things
time.
with color. If you look
Yeah.
at
Colors.
Whiplash and you look at this
But
film,
Beck, so you watched
Yeah.
La La Land, but
Yes.
anything interesting happen? Like, a certain Infocus video production story?
I did do a presentation on Monday, and I'm sad to say nothing eventful happened.
No, nothing
I-
eventful.
Nothing eventful
Was there
happened.
supposed to be something eventful?
Well, this is like the big confrontation.
It was with the one guy that we
Video
all know and
production.
love.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the bad one.
the bad one.
Here.
Yeah. But
The
I
only
went
one.
there, and then I gave the presentation, and then I left.
Good
And-
job.
Wow.
Did you say that you
should-
could do
did you wear-
anything that you wanted to with artistic?
I
with,
said, in the Focus, you get a ton of creative freedom to make any package you want.
wow.
I was too scared to do it, but I wanted to mention, I have so many good video package, the storing of September 9th. I didn't.
a little on the nose.
coulda said
Beck,
that,
I'm
you
not
know?
gonna lie.
Where's that shirt?
So,
I should have worn the shirt.
but
I thought you
Nikola,
said you were going to.
For God, bro.
Nicola, so you have a Valentine story?
Okay, I have 2 things.
Yeah.
First one is Macho-matics.
Oh,
It's
yes.
this
I
thing
also
our
did.
school
did that?
has where
I
you
did.
fill
one.
out
Piper.
a
In my
yeah, you
senior year,
basically
my top one person I matched with Beck.
yeah.
Highest
It was
fill
like a
basically
98%. It was some crazy.
Maybe you guys should get together. You thought about
Yeah.
that?
No.
Oh yeah, that's something I really like about it is that for girls it says matches/friends, and for guys it says friends/matches. Like they switch it around for you.
Yeah.
See, I went to an all-girls school, so they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, basically, it's you take a quiz and then a survey, and then a bunch of other people also take that survey, and then it kind of matches the responses to see
Mhm.
who's the most similar. So mine's mostly normal. It's all people. It's people from my grade. Some of them I know. I
Talking to
can't. It's not showing
everybody.
up.
It's a completely
Did you-
white screen. We cannot see anything.
It's showing up and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Did you
got
get Beck?
completely opposite of 1 9th graders. No, I got nobody. I got nobody that I really
I didn't know anyone on
personally.
mine either.
Funniest thing though is that one person on my school, number 10 match for me.
Satoru
I think my camera
Gojo?
flips it.
guy
Satoru
from Fortnite?
Gojo. Nah,
Hey!
I'd win. Nah, I'd win. He goes to my
Hey!
school apparently.
The
How does that
the
work?
not real fictional man.
The not
goes
real
to
fictional
Pally.
man goes to my Pally
You
school.
gotta
what's-
get him
what's
on the
the-
podcast.
We gotta
What-
get him on.
What's the other story?
The other story is Valgrams.
Explain what
So,
Valgrams are quickly.
Valgrams are basically a thing where you can spend a little bit of your money at
No, they're
ASB
free.
and send a little
They're free.
gift and note.
You have to pay for
Yeah.
them now?
Yeah.
Were they not
I did-
free?
I did
Were
one
they
for- I
free
did one for
before?
free.
I thought they were always costed money.
Yeah.
Nah, they were free at one point because I've done them multiple times.
But Aiden has just never paid for them. He did not know they costed
steals
money.
them.
I think because I did them so early, like whenever they came out, I was like, sure, I'll
Yeah.
do that, and then I wrote one like the day.
So
they
yeah, basically it
released
costs a
them
little bit of
or
money, and then you gotta send like a small gift and note to people. I was kind of like I'm not expecting anything, but if I got something, it would be kind of funny.
Kind of.
Second period, I get all of a sudden somebody brings in a bag of Valgrams and dumps them on a table and leaves. I'm like, okay, well, if it's gonna happen, it's what's gonna happen now. And then the teacher passes them out like towards the end of the period, and I get one, and I'm like, oh, I guess somebody did send me a
girl.
Valagram. Let me read you the note. Second, assorted stuffed animals. 2, Nikola Aiden. From Anonymous.
Anonymous. Also, your name is spelled
Anonymous.
wrong on it.
Oh yeah, you're right. They put the I in the wrong spot. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It says
Yeah, Chris.
KRISTC.
So do we
This
know
is
who
not
this
an
is
each
from at
moment.
all?
I don't know. We have
well,
to.
let's
Okay,
read
let
it
me
out.
read it to you, and I'm gonna see if you can guess. Here it is. Hi, it is me, famous rowing coach Al Urbixson, here to remind you to watch The Boys in the Boat in theaters on December 25th. Sorry I could not tell you all in person. I am currently on vacation in Colombia until 7/16. My grand tour of the country has been amazing. I have seen mechanics forging the finest wrenches and beautiful rug shops. There was even a live concert from the Police where they play my favorite song, Dee Doo Doo Doo, Dee Da Da Da. Good catching up with you, and remember to watch The Boys in the Boat in theaters December 25th. Who
Okay.
do you think sent me that note?
Beck.
We
Yeah, it's Beck.
we
The
have
only
some
other
theories.
What did he give you? Is
It
that
was
a
like
zebra?
a zebra named Zoe.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
like
Oh my god,
choking
I
it,
have a story. Okay.
Okay, but if
just
you got
constricting its neck.
Piper doesn't get it, but those are all references to the.
Okay.
Yeah, let me try to explain every references.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Beck,
Explain
you didn't even
every
reference my
reference.
we
movie.
had a
Well, here's the hard to
Celsius
reference. You know,
podcast.
I met with a council of other people named Al, and we planned the murder.
Yeah, we had a certain Celsius podcast Oscars where those three all made films
Yeah.
that had to
I heard
include
the
certain
screaming.
things. It had
Yeah.
to include the name of a character had to have been Al Urbixson.
Mm,
It had to have included
the
a
5/16 wrench.
a
17.
7/16
Oh, whatever.
wrench. And it had to they had to say PR or ER. Beck's film is called The Murder of Al Urbixson, and it
Wow.
consists of Al Urbixson's being murdered because he bought a rug filled with cocaine from Colombia.
No, it was
Mm.
Oh, there was a
accidentally
mix of a
smuggled.
baggage claim and a gun.
Oh, no, sorry, yeah. It was actually he bought a rug and it was accidentally swapped with another rug from Colombia that was filled with cocaine.
Same rug, but it's
Yeah.
Same rug,
different.
just different. Yeah. Here you go. So it's your famous Roman coach Al Urbixson is a reference to that. The Boys in the Boats in theaters on December 25th was a reference to how I kept saying on the lead up to December 25th to watch The Boys in the Boat in theaters December 25th.
Did you go on Christmas?
I did
He
not go
didn't.
on Christmas, but I went with my rowing team to watch it.
Okay, that makes sense.
The movie was really ass. It was not good at all. It sucked.
Good to know.
You know, one of our
Good.
neighbors, her dad was one of the actual boys in the boat.
Really?
The
Yeah.
actual
Interesting.
boys in the boat.
Yeah, my favorite
Wow.
reference now as a coxswain, I can now always say whenever any of my boat is getting demoralized, I can say, guys, just cut it out, cut it out.
We're
We
the boys in the boat.
Are the boys in the boat. And then we keep rowing. I saw the most fucking horrendous ad by Washington rowing team of this one coxswain rowing down the river, and they're like, we are now going to pass the historic landmark, the historic boathouse that those very boys were at all those
In
years
the
ago.
boat.
How about the
It
boys
was
from
so
Thailand?
fucking stupid. It was so cringy. Either
But what
way.
if they were in the boat?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the
On
reference
December
where it says
25th.
currently on vacation to Colombia. That's because that's where they found the cocaine rug.
The rug.
Yeah.
Until 7/16 because that's the size of the wrench.
Yeah.
A very
My
clever-
Grand Tour
didn't
is a
even catch that
reference
one.
to the show The Grand Tour, where
That
they
you're
make
obsessed
cars
with.
and stuff.
Whoa. Beck told me
Yeah.
about that. That was on the bingo
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
It
And then
did.
C Mechanics forging the finest wrenches. That's the 7/16th wrench again. And Beautiful Rug Shops. That's the rugs. Says there was even a live concert from the Police where they played the favorite song, which is a song that was it in Aiden's or
Aiden's.
your credits? It was
It was
Aiden's
in
credits
mine.
of his movie.
And he calls
Aiden's
the
end credits
police.
played that.
Mm.
And then it just ends up with watch The Boys in the Boat in the theaters December 25th. So that's all
Of
the
course.
references.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a story now.
Did you think it was a real one when you got it?
I was like kind of like holding out hope. I'm like, I have no clue who would have sent this, but I was definitely not thinking that you would send me one. I was not expecting it, but the second I read it, I was like, okay, this is Beck.
So, Piper, tell us why you are here at the Celsius podcast,
No, I
episode
have a story
65.
first. I have
Wow.
a story first.
Valentine's Day.
Okay.
No, this isn't about
Okay.
Valentine. This
Okay.
reminds the Valentine Graham, whatever, reminded me of a time, a story about Beck before you guys knew him. This was when I was in 5th grade. And you
I
were
was in
fourth
4th.
grade. At our school,
Oh,
we
so
did a
you're
gold rush
baby.
day.
Not this
Oh,
story.
I
course.
remember.
Not this
And-
story. Uh-oh.
You could
That's gonna be a good
send,
story.
like they had like a Pony Express, and you could send people things in their classes, kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And Beck was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna send Piper a cookie." Okay, so he sends me a cookie. He didn't know
course.
that day was the day that we were dissecting a sheep's heart in class.
I would love a cookie after dissecting a heart. I don't know about you.
But some like random girl walks in to like give me a cookie and is like traumatized by like this like sheep's heart like on the screen, and like there's sheep's heart everywhere. We're all like covered in blood, like cutting these open, and she's like, "I have a cookie for Piper." So Beck felt really bad.
I wouldn't have. I would have wanted that to happen. If I
That
could have
sounds
sent somebody to go if I could have sent a 5th grader to go witness a dissection,
She was
the
in
first
4th
time
grade.
in their
She was in
life.
4th grade.
even better. The younger, the better.
Oh, God.
You gotta
take
teach them
that
from a
out
young
loud.
age the mortality of humanity.
You've been ruining women's lives since you were a child.
Wow.
So true, so true, Ray.
Ever since he was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually so real.
Alright,
You ruined your
Aiden.
mother's life, Beck.
And
Yeah,
let's hear your
what?
Valentine's Day story.
Oh yeah.
I had a midterm. What do you want from me?
But like, tell us the
I had a-
story.
I procrastinated all day on doing a midterm, and then I got an 87 out of 100 on it, and it made my grade go up 3%. Now I have an 84% in my English class.
Yes.
Yippee.
Yeah.
Woo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's get into
we're
Piper. Why are you here?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Why are you here? Why are you
I'm here because I felt like it.
No.
Well,
Let me tell the
What?
true story.
It's not a story. It's not a
So-
story.
Like, we are currently in Utah.
Yeah.
And
Why?
we are in
Why are you
like
where the
Utah, why are
Mormons
you-
are.
an Airbnb, as they would say.
VRBO.
VRBO. A Verbo,
Oh,
as they
what?
call it in the ads now. So
Oh,
we're in this house.
Why? Yeah.
And there's one other family in this house, and I'm like, I need to
Is
do
it
my
your
podcast.
family or is it not
It's
your
my
family?
plus another family. So
So
we're
there
like,
is just another family.
yeah. So I'm like,
We know them. It's
we
not
know
like
them, yeah. So
okay.
Oh, it's
we
not.
need
It's
to
not
do,
like
I need to
weird.
do this podcast, because it's so important.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You've
can I
never
do
missed
this
it for
podcast?
anything except for a football game.
what football game.
And then I reacted to an hour and a half of that. You know?
Yeah, you did.
True.
You did do that.
So I'm like, where am I gonna do this? Because I don't want the other family in here hearing me scream about Helluva Boss, you know? I don't think they
True.
want to say, because it is currently
Helluva
like
Boss.
9:40 p.m. here.
And we're all exhausted.
We're all exhausted from skiing and tired.
And yesterday was craziness.
It was a
Mhm.
very exhausting travel day. So
The car got stuck in the snow. We had to push it.
yeah,
And then
So,
Beck threw a
really good
snowball
That was
at
pretty
me.
fun.
Wow, we were trying to push the car. My dad got mad.
yeah.
That reminds me of a time when I was driving down south and then the alternator belt skipped off my car. So we had to take our rental the rest of the way and have that car repaired.
That's exciting. Can we finish
Ah.
this?
Yeah. So I'm like, where do I do this? And then a couple of ideas are thrown
We
around.
spent like a half hour discussing.
Half hour discussing how to do this. And
That's
the
so
best
many
idea we had
hours.
to come out of this was me in the bathtub of the master
But
bedroom.
he still had to be quiet.
I still had to be quiet. But then I'm like,
That's hard.
Piper is staying in this. I swear it's like an apartment
Yeah.
underneath the house. And I'm like, okay, can I go in here? And I'm like, but I don't want to be screaming at Piper's just trying to sleep over here. So I have to invite her onto the podcast.
We had talked about this yesterday, though. Like you
Okay.
had said, maybe you could be on the podcast tomorrow, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I gotta talk about something. So Piper, I recently saw that you followed me through your van life account. So
Talk about
so
this for like 20
go
minutes.
plug your van life for a little bit here.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, so I built out a van, and I have a blog, pipersawesomevanadventure.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so I drove to Tacoma, Washington to visit my boyfriend. That was really exciting. Sleeping in the car, freezing in
But
February.
not over Valentine's Day.
Not over Valentine's Day. It's okay. At one point, Cade did forget that I was there. That was really sweet of him. We were supposed to hang out and he just forgot. And I was like, I drove 2 days to be here. And you forgot. That's really nice. Anyways, yeah. And then while I was there, somebody called me when I was at the Popeyes.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh, you
What
ruined
was
your
that
reputation.
Oh.
I was just sitting at a Popeyes.
Yeah. So Beck called you a social person, and we kind of put that to the test, you know? Like, he called you, Piper, and said you were at a Popeyes. Very, very cool. And sorry.
Mhm.
And then
I'm very
Beck
cool.
had to call you and tell you about Helluva Boss because
But they
that's
wouldn't
what
tell
he
me
was-
anything.
No, Beck.
And then we obviously couldn't tell you because that's cringe, so he hung it up on you.
Yeah.
And Aiden said your reputation is ruined, and that's a short now. So
Yeah.
My
You're
reputation
ruined.
is
Thanks.
ruined
Aiden,
because
do you
I got a
want
you-
phone call in a Popeyes.
yeah,
No,
who's
because
at a
Aiden, do you want
Popeyes?
It's cringe. So there's
Not
this
the
series
Jason
called
movie
Helluva
Horrible
Boss.
Okay.
No, it's separate.
No.
It's this YouTube indie TV show, and it's very impressively animated, but has a record of having the worst, cringiest fans and cringiest fan base, and overall people dislike it
Okay.
for no reason,
It's kind of
really.
cringy because it's
Yeah.
not good. Because it's just
Well,
cringe.
So,
it
but
is
what's the
good, though.
premise of the show?
Yeah.
There's
these like hell creatures like kill people.
Yeah,
That's the whole
of the
premise.
show.
It's an assassin agency in hell, and they kill people in the real world.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of boring.
Mhm.
See, I was expecting
it's
something
pretty
like
entertaining.
more interesting
Yeah, no.
because
I mean,
it
it is
was
pretty
really
interesting.
hyped up to me in the Popeyes.
Well,
Aid was
don't
very
I don't know
worry.
why
Me
they
and
did
Beck-
and they're
that.
eating skin sandwich.
It's okay.
like,
Me
what?
and Beck finished
We
season
finished
2 this week, so
season
we can
2.
talk about it. Yeah.
No,
The
please don't
lag
talk
is
about it. I don't want to.
insane.
For Aiden.
It's you guys
It's like
lagging.
Uri is completely frozen, and then Aiden is just grainy.
Or is Uri standing still?
He would be drowning right now. He's
Yeah.
frozen to you guys too, right?
Ernie's definitely frozen. That's for all of us.
No, he's just straight jorkling that water.
I think
So
it's
true.
just. I think he's just standing there.
I
I
love
think he's just
Aiden's like 2 pixels for me. Uri's frozen. Aiden's like 2 pixels for me.
tell the story.
Okay. So Truth Venture never saves. So, Beck is a cute little kid. He's the youngest one.
Got it.
We all think cute, baby. Okay.
True.
And he has his little 3DS, and he's obsessed with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Fire game. Everyone should play it.
And we all played different 3DS games and different Pokemon ones, but he was the one that cared most about Mystery Dungeon. And he was obsessed with this game, carrying the 3DS everywhere, playing it all the time.
It's a fire game, guys.
Okay. And I don't know how much you know about 3DSs, but it saves on the cartridge. And the game is on a
Yes.
cartridge. Okay. That's important to the story because Beck and the little baby he was like, a true adventure never saves. And he made it to almost the end of this game, without saving once. He never saved his game.
What?
What an
And
idiot,
he would
dude. Oh.
just his thing. Anytime anyone was
He's
like,
just
why haven't you saved your game? Or being like, oh my god, you just did a big thing, you gotta save the game so you don't lose that progress. A true adventurer never
Guys, a true adventure
a
never.
true adventurer. And he's a little 7-year-old be like, a true adventurer never saves. And and then he dropped his 3DS and the cartridge fell out. And
Of course
he
it
lost
did.
all of his progress. And we were like,
course.
this is why you need to save your game. So he learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
But if
Beck
you
is
ever
kinda
see
like-
me
Yeah, that is
quick
something I
save
can
every
definitely imagine
minute in,
Beck
a
doing
game,
that.
Now you know why.
I can
That's where
definitely
he has
imagine
trust
Beck
issues
doing
from.
that.
Piper, I'm trying to put
wait.
an address on your website, and it says it's not a valid email address, and I copied it directly from Google Maps
For what?
for your website.
Oh, Piper's awesome
It says
van adventure.
Yeah, it says suggest places to go, and it won't let me put this address in.
Oh, why?
It says
What?
enter a valid email address.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I gotta
and
fix
it
that.
is.
That's
Email address, not an address.
That's my bad. I gotta fix that.
I copied it from Google Maps. It's a real
No,
address.
I'm sure it's just my fault because no one has submitted anything, and I was like, "Damn, no one wants me to go
Oh.
anywhere." But no one just told me the
Yeah.
form's broken. Okay, I gotta fix that. I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Are you starting a media campaign for this?
Not really. I'll post on Instagram. I've done 3 posts on Instagram.
She's followed you.
I followed
Mhm.
Uri. I followed Celsius Pod, but Celsius Pod did not follow me back.
Wow, you know.
Oh my
that's
God,
crazy
Uri.
to that.
But Uri,
Aiden, you have access
follow-
too.
Yeah, I know.
so
We've been pretty inactive on that recently.
know what happened there?
Beck, we're doing 30 days of shorts. Come on, dude.
Okay, yeah, it
True.
is pretty tough.
But yeah,
But, let's
Should I
Guys, end
follow?
of intermission.
End of
Oh, I
intermission.
don't know.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm playing Peggle.
What were we talking about before the intermission? I don't remember.
knows?
Defunctland.
hell
Oh
of a
yeah.
lot.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
Valentine's Day.
and Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so I watched hey guys, we're back. Transition. So we're back. So I watched the new Defunctland video. Everyone loves Defunctland, and it was about the American Idol experience at Disney World, Hollywood Studios, and that's the one park in the Orlando parks that I've been to, as you can see by my hoodie that I'm wearing. And it wasn't there when I was there because it was shut down in 2014. But overall seems interesting and seems like it probably sucked a lot.
I mean, that's almost every Defunctland ride.
There's a reason it's
True.
called Defunct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it wasn't even a ride. It was an
An
experience.
experience.
You just sang into a mic.
What?
What was the ride like?
It wasn't a ride. It was an experience. Beck.
Fuck.
Oh my god! You
Experience.
auditioned for American Idol, and then you would go on the stage and sing, and then people would vote for you. But you had to go through actual thing and have people interview you, and then you're like, okay, you can go on to the next round. And it would take up to like 4 hours of your park time or some shit.
Okay, but
Damn.
what songs did they offer?
But if you won the whole day, then you would get a golden ticket, which let you skip the line in the true American Idol TV show. That way you didn't have to wait in the big old line to audition. So you actually got like a tangible thing out of it if you won.
That's crazy.
Cool.
Aiden,
Mhm.
we should time travel back to 2004, or not 2004, 2014. We duo
was close
virtual
by then.
insanity. I feel good about our
2004 is
chances.
so true.
It probably wasn't on the list. We could have done something better too, like a Disney
Like
song
what?
that I don't know, a Disney song
Owl
that I know the
Hotel.
lyrics to better.
Yeah, we just invent all that has.
Throwdown.
Hey, Beck,
Yeah,
when were you born?
2006.
Yeah, if I had a time machine, I'd go back to 2006 and kill you as a child.
That's kind of crazy.
That would be
Okay,
so
Uri, let's
traumatizing
hold
to
off.
me.
Yeah,
You would do that
Okay,
to
you-
me, Uri?
You would barely remember. You would be like 2 or something.
Guys,
I would-
speaking
That's
of
how-
children,
not how
a year
lifelong
and a
trauma
half
works,
old.
Uri.
Exactly.
Guys.
You was born on my half
Guys.
birthday.
speaking
That's
of
definitely
trauma,
not how lifelong trauma
that children
works.
have
Uri.
from having their relatives being murdered, I played a game this week and last week and the week before, and I waited
It's
till I finished
on
it. to talk
Exit
about it.
Peggle.
It's called Ace Attorney, and you can tell by my shirt and by this pillow and by the poster in the back that I hate this fucking series. So
Oh my God.
I get to talk about the trilogy that came out. I've already played one
no,
of the games, but
he really likes this game. He was streaming it while muted in a voice chat for like 3 hours. That's how
By
dedicated
myself.
he is.
it's true. I was waiting
What
for
was
someone
the point
to
of
join me.
streaming it at that point?
I was waiting for someone to join me, like Beck or Nikola
I
or
was
something.
on a plane, bro.
Oh
I
no,
don't-
Nikola joined me for 20 seconds and then left. He didn't even say anything.
It was probably when I was really sick and I was just trying to see what you were doing, and I saw it was Ace Attorney. I'm like,
It was
that's
last
kind of
night.
boring. Oh, I think I saw it and I was like, and then I was like, nah.
Okay, great. Anyway, so I'm here to recap the events of Dual Destinies, the 5th game in the series.
Dial of
arguably.
Destinies?
Yo, that's the
No.
good Indiana.
Indiana Jones?
The good Indiana Jones. Beck, you
I
haven't
haven't
seen any of them.
but that
You
one
haven't seen any of them?
I've heard. I know he gets nuked and he goes in a refrigerator.
That's like in
That's the fourth movie, which
Well,
is
I know
also
that
not
one
good.
was cool.
With
Watched
Shia
like
LaBeouf?
all 3 of them
I don't remember
on
them.
like Thanksgiving.
Like 8 years ago.
No. 3 years ago.
We did not watch it.
It was
Oh my
2020
God.
Thanksgiving.
Not.
We watched them all.
We did not.
I was there.
How do you forget that you watch Indiana Jones? Those movies are so good.
She's literally lying to you.
I'm literally not. Like,
I
we
was.
watched
Hey,
them.
Beck.
I was not there.
Flashback
Beck.
to when Beck wouldn't watch Star Wars with us because he was too afraid of it.
You know, I watched the better movie. I watched Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Trip.
We went
Oh my God.
Wickets, and he was like, "I'm going to see Alvin and the Chipmunks instead."
Beck,
I
how
made
are you
the
scared
better
of Star
choice
Wars?
in people's eyes.
Like, how are you scared of Star
Eyes, I
Wars?
guess it was just like, come on.
Were you scared of like Obi-Wan?
This was 7.
What was
Heck,
what?
Star
This
Wars was my
7.
favorite movie when I was 4. What do you?
Guys,
was?
Star Wars. When I was like 4, Star
Oh yeah,
Wars was
I
like
love
my
Star
favorite.
Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
I have seen
Yeah,
all the
really?
Star Wars films now.
You had
Piper,
it
have you
time
seen-
too.
Piper, have you seen the shows? Like the Ahsoka?
I haven't.
Well, see. I'm ahead of her. I've seen Ahsoka.
See,
I
I
should
don't
have
watch
Ahsoka.
a lot of TV shows anymore. I know.
I know she's the opposite of me.
I used to watch a
Wow.
lot. He stole that from me.
I did not. It's been
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
fault.
He also
Always.
stole having a podcast from you.
And
He did.
what did
He
you-
did.
episode.
Okay, we recorded so many more episodes. Okay, I have a
Oh, it's
podcast.
weekly.
I started my podcast in 2018, okay? 2018, 6 years ago. Me and my really good
Wow.
friend. And we never released most of the episodes. And then we brought it back and did release some of them in 2020.
Did you remove from Spotify?
No, you just don't remember the name of it.
No, it was What the Force.
No, it wasn't.
You're kidding me. Sorry, guys. I need.
Oh, it wasn't What
Sorry.
the Force.
It wasn't.
Who
Jeez.
gives a
Guys.
fork? Here we go.
Mm,
They have one
Oh.
episode on Spotify.
Okay, we have more episodes.
30 minutes. A
We
third of the
have
length of one of ours.
More episodes. But we did give up. But there was big
What was
drama.
it about?
It was just about whatever we wanted to. So the
course.
first episode we ever did was just about like drama. The second episode was about a guy that I had a crush on. And then there were some other episodes I can't remember. We just kind of like it was just kind of us painting our
See,
nails,
you need a sense of focus.
drinking boba.
Like ours is just the Owl House.
Well, then the one we
True.
did explain was I forced her to watch Star Wars 1 through 6. And then we talked about that. And then the second episode that never got released was about Harry Potter.
She
basically
forced me to
films.
watch all the
So
Harry
basically
Potter
films.
Nice.
When did I force you to watch Harry
Forrest
Potter?
Beck, come on.
Well,
You know what's the
I
best
watched
one?
all the Harry Potter films with her, and I did not.
The best Harry Potter one, Goblet of Fire.
I could not tell you
Fair
the
one.
difference between most of them.
Chamber Secrets.
I like
I can
binged
tell you
all
what
of them in like
happens in
a
the
week.
first movie, and that's it.
So they
Yeah,
all blend
but,
together in my mind. I don't know each of them like the
See,
order.
I never read
Okay,
the books.
hear
'Cause
me-
they were so boring. I'm sorry.
Well, I have an idea actually. Under the Celsius banner, we need a Beck and Piper podcast. You know? Yeah,
We could do it, Beck.
No. No,
yeah. No, it'll be like a little special once every month.
Yeah, once a
Yeah,
month.
once
I
a
would do
week.
it.
no.
Yeah,
will-
we'll have it the Beck and
I
Piper
will
special.
secede to 1 for the 8 hours of the Avatar live action that we're gonna watch. 8-hour binge of the live action, and then we can do a podcast on it. Because I don't think you guys want to hear me rant about this for like an hour.
No, not at
Yeah.
all. No,
Yeah.
you should
I
just
mean,
do it with
Beck,
like
we did
Also, Aiden, you know, you got like 6 days left. You said you'd finish it by the time the live action came out.
Wait, you haven't watched Avatar?
no.
No, he doesn't have a childhood.
I haven't seen
He's
Avatar
on
either.
episode 3.
You're not supposed to.
See,
Wait, she's into
we
it.
made a deal.
See, I've seen all of Avatar multiple times, and I've seen all of Legend of Korra multiple times, and I've seen all of Friends multiple times, and I've seen all of Stranger Things.
Okay, but
that's
let
a
me explain to you the
different
deal that happened between me and Aiden. I said I would watch Adventure Time if he watched Avatar.
See, we weren't allowed to watch Adventure Time.
I
as
am
kids.
4 seasons
Yeah,
deep
that's
into
relatable.
Adventure Time. He's 3 episodes.
That's really offensive. That's really
But
Okay,
Adventure
once
Time
you
is
go-
longer, so
Yeah,
it's
Adventure-
more. I
yeah.
guess.
like halfway through. We know
Alright.
we did the calculations one time. We did like
Yeah.
intense algebra to calculate the percentage of each.
intense algebra.
He did
Intense
regular
middle
algebra.
school level
You feel
math.
like it divide by 3. But yeah, no, we gotta see the Beck and Piper special that needs to come. Or maybe just a video.
Maybe.
Okay. Oh, and I have an
Wha-
idea for the next time you guys are all in my
Wow.
house. I was telling you
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
When, we were when me and Beck were shoveling snow yesterday. And I was like, I have an idea. Okay. So I am a woman. You guys are not women. So
Okay.
I have something called a period, which is painful.
Yeah. Yes.
There are these things that you can buy that will simulate
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
Well,
You want us
okay,
to wear
but
period
Piper, you don't have to
pants?
you don't have to deal with ball cramps, okay? So
Yeah.
You don't
I
have to.
miss
You don't have to
school 2 days
You don't
a
have to
month
regrow
'cause
your
I'm
foreskin
sick
every
in
week.
bed.
Yeah, but
You
have
don't
you
have
been
to-
kicked in the nuts?
Yeah. Piper.
Have you ever had a? I'm not gonna even say it. I'm.
Have you
Okay.
ever peed while erect?
Jesus Christ! All right.
mean,
You don't
this
even
is
know
fun.
how the struggle
Don't have
of
to
needing
struggle
to
with that.
regrow our foreskin once a month.
Wait. Yeah.
What about the foreskin one?
Were you?
We need to regrow it every month because it falls off.
No, you don't.
Yeah, it's like a haircut.
Paper, you don't
It's like a
know.
little haircut we have to get every month.
Paper, you don't know.
Beck, you're making that up. I know
We
you're
have to
making
swap out our balls once a year.
Wait, you don't know about male depression
them.
and the silent struggle?
Okay, guys.
You know?
He does not think
Uri is the
Barbie
one to say
talks about
that.
male struggles. Guys, she's like, Barbie, they don't talk about any male struggles at all.
Beck comes to me and he goes, Barbie was about male struggles.
I'm saying
And I'm
Ken
like,
Art
"Oh,
is
yeah.
about male struggles.
Piper, my sister stopped
saying
watching
it's
the
Ken
podcast
Art.
because of Beck's opinions on Barbie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Barbie was not about no.
Ken's art.
Here's his exact words. He goes, Barbie was about how hard it is to be a man. And I
What?
I'm saying the Ken arc was.
You didn't say that though.
Yeah,
I
you should've-
did.
he goes to me, Barbie is oh my god.
I said Barbie talks about male stuff.
no, you said
No, you
those
did
words
not.
to me.
And then
I
I
can already tell that
clarified.
you're not the one that said that.
But I don't
Just-
think we're going to wear the
You know,
period
my
belt.
Barbie
You're not
opinion.
gonna do the period thing?
No,
No,
he's
I
too
don't
much of
know.
a pussy. He doesn't want He doesn't want to feel real.
Wait, how
pain.
does it? Can I ask how it works?
But
just-
just like taser.
It's like a taser.
Yeah, I've tased myself before.
It's,
I
wait,
think
is
Except
it
I know
just
it
it's
hurts
kinda-
a lot more.
Is it
It's
just
not
like
that-
a taser at the level of a period cramp?
Yeah. So I
Okay,
would put it
I
on
don't
first to make sure that
Okay.
it's the same level as my period cramps.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Actually,
put it
that's-
on you
that
guys.
does sound cool.
No, I
that does
feel-
sound
I'm
like
fine
a
with
cool
that.
idea. Yeah.
We can just do it during one of the specials.
Yeah.
I need some type of device that can inflict pain on me daily, constantly, so I can just become immune to it.
Ah.
Here.
This is the
Hey,
device
you want me-
for you.
Hey,
Exactly.
Nikola, you want
The
that
period
advice?
cramp, like-
You want that device back? Nikola, get a girlfriend.
Oh.
Oh, the joke is he's misogynistic.
You're
True.
explaining that, Nikola, because I, as a woman, didn't understand the
Wow.
joke.
That's great.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
being,
Alright, guys,
this is what we
Because
call
women
the
don't understand
feminist-
jokes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah,
that's
but
what I
actually,
said.
if you'd be surprised that Nikola's actually a really big feminist.
Is he?
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
say that I love women.
And
then
that
I
makes
got
you
edited to
feminist,
say
I
that.
guess.
And no, and then I said something about like women's suffrage and stuff, and then they edited it to make it say that I hate women and Beck Lyons.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
you just said the words I hate women and Beck Lyons. So
No, wait.
Play the
everyone
clip,
quiet,
play the
Aiden it
clip.
again.
Yeah.
I hate women and Beck Lyons.
He said it. It's there, Piper.
It's real. I
It is
mean,
real.
It's
it's
a crucial
unrefutable.
plot point in the story of the Celsius podcast.
well now
Yeah.
you can take the actual clip of him saying I hate women and Beck Lyons and put that in there.
No, because
No,
it's
it's-
Lex
Yeah.
Lyons trying to sabotage Nikola to get his girl on
Oh.
the podcast.
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
smashes the TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lek's
Guys,
a villain, guys.
do we want to get into what we're watching?
Finally.
I feel like we kind of already have been.
Oh my
getting
god,
into
I
it,
have
though.
I have a movie.
No, we need to talk
I have
about
a
our
Piper Piper goes first, Beck.
She has 6
Um,
months worth of stuff.
No, I don't. I was
No,
gonna talk
yeah,
about
She's
one
the
movie.
guest, Beck.
Fine, talk
It's-
about the movie.
It's one movie that I've been obsessed with.
It's called Trolls Band
No.
He loves Trolls Band Together, guys.
I did enjoy that
Beck hates
movie.
it.
But here's the thing
Beck
about
famously hates
that's
that
not the movie I was
movie.
going to talk about, but Trolls Band Together, you guys just weren't the target demographic, okay?
No,
None of us.
I
can
was
see
the target
that.
demographic.
No.
I am a woman and I am obsessed with boy bands. So anytime that they make good boy band content, and this included NSYNC getting back together for the first time since 2007, okay? So this is like big news for the boy band world, okay? So
Wow.
it just wasn't for you, so you wouldn't get it.
Yeah. No, Beck
They
also
haven't-
hated Argyle.
You did.
So,
Argyle.
yeah.
I think he just hates women.
I
And
think
like,
it's the whole thing. But
Wow.
the movie I was going to
Yeah.
talk about is a great movie that I've watched like twice in the past couple weeks because I love this movie and I've seen it many more
This
times.
Ladybird?
This is
For
this
Beck?
is for Ladybird.
It's called She's the Man, and
I've
it
seen it.
came out in 2006. It stars Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum, which we love Channing Tatum. Oh, love him.
Who's the we?
We as like women.
Beck, it's a TikTok girl thing. Come on, Beck.
Ah.
Beck,
I'm
this is
not on
why you need
TikTok.
to strap the period cramp thing onto you, just so you can
Yeah,
understand
I
women
think
more.
if you did that, you would understand the Channing Tatum thing.
Got it.
Yeah, Piper, you're not on TikTok. Your van life thing is gonna fumble. How it
Damn.
Yeah, you need to be on YouTube Shorts.
You know, I'm good. I did make one YouTube short once accidentally because I tried to post a video and it showed up as a short instead. It
Did
was
you put hashtag short?
no. It
If
just
it's
became a
less
short.
than a minute, it'll do it.
Yeah,
vertical?
it was vertical in less than a minute. It just became a
Makes
short.
it a YouTube short.
But it was just a video of me explaining how a squirrel jumped inside my van and tried to steal my pizza.
How much views did you get?
Oh yeah, I
I-
saw that video on like Instagram or something,
Yeah,
and you were freaking the fuck out about that.
I wasn't freaking
I
out.
like
Guys,
the
oh my God, a
added use
squirrel
of
came into
fuck.
my van. Ah!
I was exaggerating. I'm good at that. But okay, she's
Yeah,
the man.
But tell us about She's the Man.
It's
Yeah.
based off of Shakespeare. It's based off of Twelfth Night, by William Shakespeare, who famously wrote all of his own plays. That's a lie. He
What?
didn't write his own plays.
But what about Romeo and Juliet
He
sealed with a
based
kiss? Where
literal-
there's seals.
There's
Oh, so
one
you
about-
watched the
What are you
Shrillis
talking
video?
about?
What about Nomeo
Okay.
and Juliet?
Oh yeah. Wait, they need to stop making Romeo and Juliet remakes. It never works.
I have a theory about Romeo and Juliet.
Wow.
Okay.
Guys, theater theory time.
No. About the movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Romeo
The
and
one that's
Juliet.
I had to
That
watch
he only
that-
dates
I had to watch
women
it
under
for the record,
25 because we all know about that.
What?
That he only dates women under 25 because we
No,
all
no,
know
no, no, no.
about that.
SpongeBob knows
told
that
me
also.
about that. Yeah.
No.
Wait, can we talk about the Knicks Super Bowl?
Oh, I love
No,
that.
we got
Oh,
that
yeah, talk
too.
about it. Me and Pyre both watched
We
it.
watched the Knicks.
This
Super
thing
Bowl.
is fire, guys.
It was
They have
hilarious.
SpongeBob commentating the entire
Okay,
thing.
no, but I gotta get back to my theories. Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But yeah, SpongeBob was commentating. They had like cuts to the stands where it was like fish and it was like Shrimpathy Chalamet. Like
I
that
saw
kind of
that.
thing. That was hilarious. But anyways, okay.
But guys, they had
Freak.
Dora
man.
explain what holding is.
Yeah,
That one
she
was awesome.
explained football. She explained it for us.
Yeah.
But
So tell us about
yeah.
She's the Man.
Oh yeah, but first Romeo and Juliet. Okay. Stars Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
You know what else stars Leonardo DiCaprio? The remake of The Great Gatsby. You know when The Great Gatsby takes place? 10 years after the Titanic. And Leonardo DiCaprio's character as Gatsby, no one knows his backstory. No one knows where he came from. So my theory is that the guy actually survived. Oh, this is not Romeo and Juliet. This is Titanic.
Yeah.
This is the wrong one.
Okay, but how does Catch Me If You Can fit into the?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no. Romeo and Juliet, he dies. That's the wrong one. But I was thinking Titanic. Titanic is that he survived, actually, and then became Great Gatsby. That's my theory. And I have more. I wrote like almost a whole essay in English class about this in junior because I
I
was
know,
like,
looking up where Jay Gatsby came from, and he's saying it came from North Dakota.
yeah,
So,
but he made that up. Did you read The Great Gatsby?
no.
Because no one knows where he came
Yeah,
from.
he's
He's
not
lying
cultured.
about
He doesn't
everything.
know how to do that.
He's like the
Wow.
Joker, you know?
Yeah, but okay,
No one
okay,
knows his backstory.
Anyways. Sorry about my little tangent. That was not Romeo and Juliet. but,
Three
like,
tangents.
I go on tangents. Okay.
You're a
She's the
perfect
Man.
podcaster.
I love this movie. Okay. It's just so good. So basically the plot is that there's this girl, Viola, and then she has a twin brother, and they like look similar. And then she's really good at soccer. But then her boyfriend, Justin, is like, you're so good at soccer, like you're better than half the boys on the team. Okay, cool. Then the girls' team gets cut at their school. And
Wait,
Then-
I have a funny story about this. Okay, guys. So Tuesday, Monday, I'm like, are you willing to live stream this basketball game on Tuesday? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I kind of don't want to spend 4 hours doing this. But then Tuesday comes around and I'm like, dude, I'm doing nothing today. I need to go do something productive. So I go to the not the football game, the basketball game. And it's two teams. It's the girls varsity versus Los Gatos girls varsity and then boys varsity. And then I hear the craziest story. So girls varsity is 0-22 going into this
Like
basketball.
losing or winning?
Losing.
Okay.
And then I find out later it's because every junior and senior on this team quit because of bad management. So the entire varsity team is like freshmen and sophomores. So they've been having to fight against like people like 2 grades above them. So
Damn.
they've lost every single game
Well,
this
yeah.
season.
That's
Like you got an Infocus story here.
Yeah, I know. This is kind of my Infocus
yeah.
story for
Okay.
the week.
Okay. But back to my story was so then they were like the girls were like under Title IX, whatever. Like we can like try out for the boys team. And then Justin's like, but girls aren't as good as boys. And Viola's like, but you just said yesterday that I was better than half the guys on your team. He's like, I never said that. Like, end of
Bro should wear
conversation. And then she goes,
Bro was
"End of
mind
relationship,"
swapped
and
halfway through
leaves.
the
Okay.
episode.
And so that she broke up with him and he's like heartbroken. But then she's like, okay, well, I got to figure out. And then but they have like a big rivalry against this other school. And they have like a big game coming up in 2 weeks. And so her brother goes to that other school or is supposed to go there. It's the beginning of the school year. And so she pretends to be her brother, tries out for that team. And like there's a whole like storyline of them like pretending to be the boy, but then also being the girl, and then having to pretend. And then she falls in love with her roommate, who's Channing Tatum. But she
This is
only
like
knows him
Mulan.
as like the boy.
In what way, Uri?
What?
Is this like
The
Mulan?
girl. This is like Mulan, you know? A girl pretending to be a boy, and then she's falling in love with the
so many
boy.
Every where a girl pretends to be a boy is just a copy of Mulan, is what he's saying.
Of course.
Basically, even though this one was written by Shakespeare like way before Mulan came out.
Nobody likes Shakespeare.
Maybe it was all based on the
Shakespeare-
story.
Shakespeare knew about football?
It's about soccer.
Ah,
No,
so the
no, but
English.
Oh, well, oh
British.
yeah, soccer. Sorry.
Well, football is soccer is called football outside of
Yeah,
the US.
Nikola is
No way. No, but
really, Uri?
anyway.
Yeah, nobody knew that. What?
But anyways, there's like drama because then like there's this girl that falls in love with Viola pretending to be her brother. But Channing Tatum is in love with that girl. And so it's like a huge like triangle. And it's so good. It's so good. And like I love that movie so much.
Yeah, no, I've seen it in the past. I think it's like one of those classic like teen comedy kind of from the
Which I'm
early
a big fan of.
2000s. Yeah, and like so you must be like a lot of fans of those like early ones. Like what else? Like Mean Girls and like Easy
Yeah.
A or something like that. You like those?
watched
Oh,
Yeah.
I watched Easy A once. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was good.
and so yeah,
Also with
a
Amanda
lot of
Bynes.
those. John Tucker Must Die, stuff like
Haven't
that.
seen that.
That's like one of the early ones.
Oh,
But,
another movie that I watched recently, like 2 months ago, was with Cade, my boyfriend. He had just gotten back for winter break. We only had like, a week before he had to like go on like some family vacation. And it's like, okay, like let's hang out. And he's like, oh my God, like we should bake bread. I'm like, when have we ever baked bread before? He's like,
Oh,
"It'll be
I've baked
gluten-free."
bread before.
So we baked bread. But anyways, while it's like in the oven, I'm like, okay, cool. Like let's like hang out, like do something. He's like, no, like I want to watch this movie with your mom. And I was like, what? Because my mom was watching this movie. And then he's like, no, we have to sit here and watch this movie with your mom. And I was like, why do you like love this movie so much? He's like, it's a really funny movie, but it was like on TV, like with all the commercials and everything. Like, cause we were like sitting through commercials. And I was like, what are we doing? But yeah, it was Couples Retreat with Jason Bateman. It's Jason
Great
Bateman,
actor.
Vince Vaughn. Oh my God, there's more. I'm trying to picture their faces.
Jennifer Aniston, I'm guessing.
No,
No.
no.
Look that
But
up.
who else is in it? Oh, Kristen Bell.
Oh,
Kristen Bale?
yeah.
Kristen Bell. Like from Frozen?
John Favreau.
Oh. Sorry, it
Oh
sounded like
my
Kristen Bale.
God.
Yeah. There's
And John.
more.
Yeah,
I can't
John
remember their names.
Favreau.
So yeah, it was a good movie. If you ever want
But
to watch a
wait,
movie with
the only
your
thing
girlfriend's
about
mom.
that is like, who watches a movie on cable?
Yeah, my mom.
nowadays.
Cable is like very useless, you know?
My mom loves
commercials.
cable. She loves the Hallmark
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
Wow,
Big
she's a
fan.
Hallmark mom?
She's a Hallmark mom.
Wow.
She keeps that running
Mm.
24/7.
And Shark Tank.
Damn.
Yeah.
I used to be a Shark Tank head.
Okay.
Murray is the type of guy to be a Shark Tank, bro.
I used to be really into Survivor, if anyone.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
we
no,
used to
yeah.
watch
If anybody
I
has
used to
ever
binge
heard
a
of
ton of-
Survival, you know this. Or why did you say like
very
you know if
niche little
anybody's
show.
heard of it? Like why
Survivor.
did you say it that way?
Amazing
I don't know
Race.
if anyone's seen it.
Amazing
No,
Race.
I
I
haven't
used to
seen
always just
Amazing Race.
binge watch this one season of Amazing Race.
I like the Amazing Race. The ones I've watched are Amazing Race and the food truck.
Actually, wait, I have to bring something.
Wow.
Oh. Look, guys,
Wow.
Tetris block.
Is it a
Tetris
gummy?
Playing
block.
this like game where you
It's a Tetris
where
game,
you like
right?
make
Gamer
like,
gummies.
combine
Whoa.
balls and make frogs. It's fucking awesome.
What? Yo!
It's this game where you like
What do they call those?
yo.
The bandana?
It's
What?
like a little buff.
Buff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What season?
27. It was a really good one. Tony Vlachos won, and he's the only male twice winner in the show. He won 2 seasons, and the only other there's like 2 people who won twice. I think her name was Sandra. She was like the only twice female winner, and Tony, who was only the twice male winner. And he won the season where they brought all like former Survivor winners, and that was a really good
Oh.
season. Yeah,
Wow.
and yeah, but
There were some
Yeah,
really
so-
funny moments of Survivor. Like I remember
We watched the first season together.
Yeah, I remember it was a
Oh,
good
wow.
season where it's like one team just kept winning over and over again, so they got like 9 rewards in a row, and it just kept positively feedback looping. It was really funny. They did one where they split like all boys team versus all girls team.
Damn.
That one was good.
Wasn't there one that was like beauty versus brawn or whatever?
Oh yeah, and then they had blood versus water, which is like family
that was good.
members.
They had heroes and versus villains. Great season.
Yeah, they had-
But did you do it? Is that
yeah they switch it up a couple times. It's good.
Remember when we used to watch Jane the Virgin?
Yeah, we never
Oh,
finished.
I watched all of that.
We like watched us and our mom. We watched like to midway through season 5 and stopped.
I want to finish it
Yeah.
because I remember a lot about that show.
I hate the way it
Insane show.
ended.
That
I
was like a
think.
soap opera.
They had to change.
Yeah, it
the
was like a
title,
parody
halfway
soap
through,
opera, though.
What?
They had to
It was like a
change it 'cause
parody
He's
of
no
a
longer a
soap.
virgin. Remember, they just kept crossing it out during the title card.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But so did you actually do anything on Valentine's Day, Piper?
Not this Valentine's Day. Not really. But my funny stories, not really, they're not that funny. I was just gonna whatever. But last year on Valentine's Day, I wasn't gonna do anything. And no, me and Kate were gonna get dinner. I didn't even realize it was Valentine's Day, honestly.
Wow.
And we were gonna get dinner, and he was like, "Sorry, I have tutoring." So he had his math tutoring. But then he showed up at my house with a bottle of
A bomb.
lemon lime
Oh.
Gatorade and Ghirardelli chocolates. And that was like the sweetest
Why-
thing ever. Because he
Why the
knows
Gatorade?
I have like an emotional attachment to lemon lime Gatorade. Because I have celiac disease, and basically if I eat gluten, I vomit a lot. And I need to drink something to get my electrolytes back. And so I drink lemon lime Gatorade. So basically lemon lime Gatorade has saved my life. That's not true, but I'm going to say it is because like for like the day afterwards, I can't really eat that much. So all I do all day is just drink Gatorade and don't eat anything else. But anyways, so he knows that if I don't feel well, I drink Gatorade, specifically lemon lime Gatorade. So it was really sweet that he brought that for me. And then this year we didn't do anything because he's in Tacoma and refuses to FaceTime me. But that's okay. And yeah, but I did tell him something. Well, on Valentine's Day was also the day that like I started some new medication for some other thing. And I was like, can you believe that without insurance, it's $2,000 a month? $2,000 a month for this medication. That's like insane. And so then he sent me $1 on Apple Cash and was like, hope this helps. Happy Valentine's Day.
Romantic.
Wow. Very. I thought it was going to go in a way different thing where it's like
Damn, sucks for you.
$2,000. That's almost as much as I spent on this ring. Boom.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
All right.
That would be
But,
insane to get engaged at 19.
Actually,
Clearly, you've never watched
there was a
Steven
few
Universe.
Valentines. There was a few engagements happening at my college during Valentine's Day for like the seniors or something. I saw like one outside my like floor hall because I'm on like a higher floor, and I was like, I saw an
Insane.
engagement happen outside, and then
I would
then
not
I
get
think
married in college.
and then like there was an app where people from different students on my school can talk on the app, and it's like I think I was arguing with one of the
Is
people
that
who got
Yik Yak?
engaged. Yeah, I was getting. I think I was arguing with one of the people who was getting engaged because they were like, "We got married." It's like we've been dating since high school, and I just said like a Squidward image. I was like, and they're like, "Hey,
Was this
we're
before or
old."
after the party, Uri?
This was like on Wednesday.
Ah.
But yeah, so I don't know, engaged. But yeah, Beck on the other hand has not had a Valentine.
That's really sad for you, Beck.
Yeah, you know.
At your age, I had one.
Yeah. No, he did.
You're roasting him.
Yeah, no, you know, I didn't feel sad enough on Valentine's Day, so you know, I just needed her to rub some salt in the wound.
No,
you
I'm
know?
joking.
I was with the
I know.
boys.
Okay, but can I get into what I'm watching?
Let's move
I
on.
got
Let's
four
move on
things.
from the depressing shit.
Okay, I'm gonna first talk about Orion in the Dark. So what
watched
Aiden
it?
did was I was 40 minutes into this movie, and I'm like, this isn't very good. And then Aiden watched, and he's like, can I spoil it? And he's like, I'm like, sure. So he spoiled the entire movie, and I'm like, wait, this sounds really good. So I went back and I watched it, and it got good right after I stopped. So overall, I think it's a great movie. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can you still imagine that the same guy who
I
made
can't.
like I'm thinking of
I
ending?
cannot imagine a man directing I'm thinking of ending things to Orion in the Dark. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, he's a
Like
very
that is
big
like a
director.
psychological horror movie that stays in your mind like for like
Wait,
months.
what happened?
So there's this really dark psychological horror movie called I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Okay.
And the same guy who made that movie made this animated kids movie called Orion in the Dark about a guy
Yeah,
who
it's
befriends the embodiment of dark and they become friends.
Okay.
So it's
yeah, it's
hard
Charlie
to imagine
Kaufman.
that, you know, it's the same guy.
Charlie, it's the guy who made it is Charlie Kaufman. He's known for making very interesting type of things. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, if you've ever seen that, he made that, and he made this Nicolas Cage movie called Adaption, a writer trying to adapt his script. And yeah, he's known for doing very interesting things.
I will say it does go a very unique direction with the story that was very unexpected and very good to see, you know?
Yeah.
Next thing I watched, Mad Max Fury Road. I watched this on the plane.
Did they drive really
Watched
good?
Mad Max Fury in preparation for Furiosa.
I would like to tell a
Yeah.
story. So when I was in
We
my
don't have
film
story.
class,
Story.
when I was in my film
We
class,
have amazing time.
we had to do a reading to start the thing, and it was this book, and it was like, when watching a film, you can like enjoy it as a movie, or you can analyze it as art. And they use as an example Mad Max Fury Road. I cannot imagine anyone analyzing like the themes of this film. It is them driving cars and like shooting fire at people for like 90 minutes. It is not something you can like analyze as a film. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Some of the effects are like, it is crazy to me that this movie came out like 2014 or something. Like it looks insanely good.
Yeah.
Some of the action, I have no idea how they did some of this stuff. It's like they keep jumping between like 20 different cars. It's like a really fun action movie if you want to watch it.
Cool.
What else have you
And they're
watched,
making
Jack?
it's a prequel, the next one, right?
Yeah, it's about like the main chick.
Yeah.
What, Furiosa? Yeah.
And like
Um,
I didn't know this was like a sequel, but it's like one of those like 20 years later sequels. So I was
Oh.
able to
Ah.
like still get the basic plot, but there was a ton of like
So what's
flashbacks.
the like idea of Mad Max? Like they
So
just,
it's like nuclear
Different
war,
cars.
but then in like it's just a bunch
Like
of people like in cars, and that's like they like
Okay.
fight each
yeah,
other with
and they shoot at
cars.
each other.
Yeah.
But why are they mad at each other?
Well, because it's Raiders,
Nah.
it's post-apocalypse.
Okay.
Yeah.
This actually reminds me. I'll say what I went to the theater over this weekend, and I saw American Fiction,
Let's go. I love that movie.
and it's actually a really fire film.
It's so funny.
And
I don't know anything about it.
yeah,
you
so it's
wanna
this new
get
movie.
it?
Essentially, like this writer, this writer is like he's like he's a black writer, and he has like he doesn't stereotypically write what black authors would write or black stories, and like he thinks very low of that, like sort of like black people getting shot by like police and like media and just those stories, and like a black single mom. Like he's very kind of uppity. He's very like he doesn't want to be like grouped with that. But then he, as a joke, he writes like this book about like what he assumes like what the basic idea of what a stereotypical black author write, like about some drug dealer stuff or things. But then people actually like it, and he's like, why the fuck do you like this? It's trash.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so we see how he kind of rises up as this fake like he pretends to be a fugitive who wrote this book, and it's like it gets like awards and awards, and just kind of showing like how like
Uri, what's
kind
the
of the
book called?
So at first the book is called My Pathology, but with an F instead of a TH, like my pathology, like yo and stuff like that, like a very kind of black kind of language. And it's first like he does like that, but because he wants the publishers to not publish this book, he says, I'm going to change the title. I'm going to call it Fuck, and they're like, well, we're going to get back to you on that, and then they come back like
no.
They're gonna come back. They come back like a few minutes later and it says, "We're gonna call it Fuck." That's great. That's even better. Fuck. So the book is called Fuck, and it wins like the best the best literary award. And he's like on the panel and he's like, "Guys, I really don't think Fuck should be number one at this literary award." And then there's this other writer who she's like a black writer, and she kind of wrote because he was kind of satirizing her story. Was like, because her story is very much like the type of like more stereotypical black story. He says like, well, isn't your book kind of like that? And she gets like offended. But the thing is, her book at least has like a soul to it, and like she actually does research with her story. Well, this is just kind of like a soulless piece of garbage that like white people will really like. This movie does a really
There's a
good
really
idea
funny
of
scene where it's like they're at the judging panel, and it's like the two black authors saying we don't want fuck, and then the three white people are like, guys, we need to listen to the black voices of fuck,
Yeah. And it kind of satirizes when kind of the words we think of, like, everybody, like, people when things say it's so raw and it's so important, satirizes, like, what does that even mean? It's so raw and so important. Like, this is an important story. And it kind of satirizes kind of those, like, the white, liberal kind of, like, elitist kind of ideas of what, like, black stories and like what BIPOC stories are kind of, and so it was a very very interesting story.
So you can watch it, or like you can like buy it on Amazon Prime.
And so it has a nomination for Best Picture, nomination for Best Actor, and Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
So
for me, I was surprised this was nominated for Best Picture because it feels like, like the half of the movie where it's like drama with like the family and all that. You don't see that at all in the trailer, but that seems like the type of Oscar, sad family drama story. And then the other half is like this random comedy you'd see like on Netflix,
and I think it does
kind of like two
really
stories
smart
matched
ending,
together, but it works,
Yeah. And so Beck, anything else you've watched?
I watched
two more things, right?
Continued my watch of Avatar. I found out one of the episodes was directed by Dave Filoni, you know, who Nikola loves.
You don't like Dave Filoni?
Who said I love him?
He does
You-
like Dave Filoni.
Okay.
I said he's fine. I never said I loved him.
Okay, well, he likes Dave Filoni.
You
and
said it like
yeah,
he doesn't like Dave Filoni, like it's sarcasm, but he does.
he does. He loves this.
Why are you saying it like that?
I don't know.
He does?
Does.
Okay, but while on the topic of Avatar, we have the run times of all the episodes.
Oh no.
We have 8 episodes, each going to be an hour long. And what
Why? It's Avatar.
they're adapting is a 20 season or 20
No.
20 episode 20 episode
Arc.
show, each half hour. So
There's only 20 episodes in the whole show.
20 episodes is the first season. They're doing the first season.
Okay.
So the first season, they're basically condensing 10 hours to 8 hours.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. But they are introducing a ton of stuff from later seasons. Like
Oh, they are?
you see, I think Azula is showing up.
Oh,
more
but she
with-
could come.
she showed up in the second season.
Yeah.
They actually see Ozai, unlike you don't see Ozai until like season 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're introducing a lot of stuff that was earlier in this. But I do expect them to maybe cut out some of the more filler episodes.
Like which ones?
Great Divide.
Which one was that one?
You know, the one where it's like the 2 warring things, and it turns out that it was just their ancestors playing football.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it's a really bad episode, but I really hope they adapt it because it'd be really funny.
What
They're probably not going to adapt it.
does the Earthbender come in?
Toph, season
Yeah,
2.
Okay.
But yeah, so I do want to finish season 1 before next Thursday, and also watch the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I don't like his
Why?
movies.
Well, the thing is, I need to see it because like it's just you're gonna see the original, the first live action attempt adaptation, and then the Netflix one. But oh
Wait,
my
M. Night
god,
Shyamalan did the Avatar movie?
he did the Avatar movie. Wait, I'm gonna
He
show.
did?
I'm gonna show you guys. They posted this clip
I had no idea.
from an
it was M.
episode
Night
I just
Shyamalan.
finished, and it looks terrible.
It doesn't seem like something that
Okay.
M. Night Shyamalan would do.
Yeah, I don't know why they got him. Okay, but
They
like,
also did Stuart Little.
look at this. It's like
Yeah, I did see
It's
this.
beautiful.
that looks bad.
That looks bad.
That looks so bad.
That looks really bad.
They spent $15 million an episode.
An episode.
Makes
In
sense.
episode. $150
Everything.
million dollars, or more like $120 million for the first season.
But,
That's insane.
well,
Yeah.
what do you expect? It's a live action.
I know. I need to talk about how bad this is. Okay,
Yeah,
and then
Okay.
the other last thing I watched is watched the first 2 episodes of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
I'm trying to
Wow.
watch Game of Thrones.
you could talk to Colin about that.
I know.
Beck, you gotta watch it in time for House of the Dragon season 2.
When is that? Because we're talking 8
It's in this-
seasons. It's like what, 8 seasons?
In the summer.
Each episode is an hour. There's 10 a season. You're talking
Easy.
80 hours.
Easy. Beck, I
Nothing
watched The
compared to
Sopranos rewatch in a month. Come on, Beck.
Wow.
Bro, I watched
Um,
it in like an hour through the TikTok 25-second clips.
Oh,
so like I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
But
I like it so far.
yeah.
I see
It's-
why
it's a
very
good show and-
complained.
Unfortunately, you will be disappointed with the last 2 seasons.
Okay, the
You will
thing is,
just be
it feels like I've heard, I could swear, like this season killed people's parents. Like they talk about it so badly.
Yeah.
It's a terrible season of TV, but House of the Dragon fixed the legacy,
Yeah.
and so Beck, it's unfortunately it's like you're eating a bowl of honey, and then you'll find a razor in the honey.
Mm.
See, but who actually
That's
wants
how-
to eat a bowl of honey? Okay, this isn't a good.
You don't
metaphor.
want an all good show, guys. You want a really bad show.
No,
you
but-
know?
Who wants to eat honey? Drake,
Well, like think about it, like you're tasting the honey.
you sit
Honey
there and
tastes
taste
good. What are
honey.
you talking
There's
about?
honey tasting stuff.
Do you do that?
No,
Yeah,
but there, it
have
exists.
you had a honey stick?
I've had honey sticks, but I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
eating
what-
a bowl of honey.
Okay, well,
Okay, but yeah, I like it so far. It is kind
Yeah.
of confusing because they introduce like 4 different families, each with like 8 people in each family. You're like, guys, understand the entire family and political dynamics in like 2 episodes. It is very hard.
I
I like don't
understand.
know half the people's names.
Yeah.
I
That
went to
sounds
the place
crazy.
that was
I do.
owned.
Yeah, I'm assuming Uri does. He could give me like the entire family tree on like a piece of paper.
Maybe we'll have to do a special where Uri explains that.
We can do House of Dragon episode by episode.
Yeah. That would be fun if Beck gets him ready for time with that. Because me and Beck, we kind of have a legacy of we watched a lot of the similar things on the drama side of things. Like we did the whole Succession Dairy.
I remember I
Those-
left your graduation party to watch the Succession.
You
film.
did?
I did.
But come on, Piper. In his defense, it was a really good
It
episode.
was a really good Shanab.
It was a.
You
Too
left my
pretty fire for that.
graduation party.
I had
didn't
to-
graduate high school once.
I had to run down there with my socks when you were
What
like,
if I don't go to your graduation?
it doesn't matter.
Oh, we gotta talk about this. So, Piper, you're doing a gap year,
Yeah.
and so Beck. That means you and Beck will graduate in the same year for college,
Oh
most
yeah.
likely.
When I told Beck that I was taking a gap year, he goes, "If our graduations are the same day, I get the parents."
Yeah. It makes sense, don't you think?
So yeah, we will both be class of 2028, which is great because both our birthdays are the 28th.
Wow. I didn't know that.
You didn't know your birthday.
Well, I didn't know I was class of 2028.
Would you
um,
add 4 to the current year?
Maybe.
It's
Holy
not
but
hard.
what if
Maybe I'm
what if
still
the
good at getting
podcast
food,
really
yeah.
takes off and we create a media company and Beck
Yeah,
leaves
literally,
college 2 ways?
Here's the perfect plan. We hit 1,000 subscribers. We get $4 from ad revenue. That's $4 is put into a CS:GO case. We unbox the diamond-topped AK-47 valued at $500,000. We sell that $500,000, invest it into the podcast, and grow the media company. This is a flawless plan. guys.
It all
And,
depends on if those
I'm-
$4 get you that diamond, whatever.
Celsius Co.
What about
and,
the Dry Corp?
We're not doing
I
Bazay
like
Dry. So Aiden,
Wait, no, I
you've
have
been a bit silent.
topics quickly.
Okay,
Invincible Part 2 trailer. This
Nikola.
looked hype.
Yeah, it is hype.
But the one thing I was mad, and this is like kind of in general, is trailers are in like a lose-lose situation where they have to show enough to make it interesting, but they don't want to show too much as to spoil it. And I felt like this one was very spoily type of trailer, you know? Kind of gave away like a
'cause
ton of
I
episode
was
plot.
not expecting Omni-Man to be in this season. I thought he was going to be in season 3.
It's probably gonna be like in one prison for like half an episode or like a side plot.
Yeah, they're like really being fast.
But it is gonna be cool to see the Angstrom Levy big multiversal fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
gonna
that's
be
kind of what they're
fun.
alluding is that I think the season's gonna end with the multiverse.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the marks, all the marks.
And then the
Both the
second
marks.
And,
thing is me and Aiden are gonna go watch Madam Web
You are?
It's true.
in D-box
Oh,
seats.
Yeah.
you're
Gee,
going to watch
box-
Madam Web.
It means
You
it
good?
like shakes.
Yeah. The tickets are
I've
I've
already
never
already
done
done
it
it.
before, but I think Madam Web is the perfect movie.
Beck, this
Of
is the
course.
new.
We
This
saw
is the new
SpongeBob
Morbius.
one at D-Box. At Great America, they had a SpongeBob ride that you would go on, and they would shake the seats when we watched SpongeBob.
Beck, this is the new Morbius. It's gonna be so bad.
Okay, but me and
gonna be
Aiden will
so
watch it, and I won't go in expecting an Argyle level of quality.
Was Argyle good or bad?
Do you want me to scream at them for 20 minutes, or do you want to go to bed?
Oh, okay. So there's a big disagreement.
Yes.
So you think it's good, they think it's bad.
I think it's
No,
very bad.
he thinks it's horrible. We think it's good.
All right, here. There's this image that's been circulating. It says
I have
all of
not
these
seen it.
events happen in Madam Web except for one. Can we guess which one is the lie?
We want to do it?
Yeah, let's predict.
Let's try and get. All right, Madam Web is born in a cave in Peru with the help of magic spider people. The 3 Spider-Women never get their powers and are only seen in costumes during dream sequences. Evil Spider-Man is killed by a large Pepsi sign. Madam Web becomes wanted for kidnapping by the NYPD.
So three
Madam
of the
Web runs down evil Spider-Man in her car twice. Parker is born but not named. Madam Web inexplicably splits into 3 ghost-like copies of herself near the end of the movie.
What?
One of these things does not happen.
I know
The
one of
rest
them is
do.
true because I got it spoiled for me, but I cannot tell you.
she definitely hits them with the car. I feel like
Twice?
Why
believe it.
I think this movie is stupid enough for him to die by Pepsi sign.
Yeah,
That one?
I definitely think the Pepsi sign one is real.
Yeah.
I think the dream one might also be
It would
real
be
because I
really
don't think-
funny to see her split into 3 different ghost versions of herself in the last act.
I think that one's also real. I think the one that's fake
I
one
think she
where
was born in
they don't
Peru.
get powers.
Oh wait, was that guy with her mother researching spiders in the Amazon before she died? You know?
That line isn't in the movie.
That line isn't in the movie.
No.
That's annoying.
Mm.
But there
Yeah.
is a line where it's like she's talking to young Uncle Ben, just like, you don't want to get shot in the Bronx, do you?
Oh,
I think the Peter Parker one is definitely real.
yeah.
I
I
think
think
it
it's the
might
one where they don't
be-
have power. I think they'll have powers.
Okay, yeah,
They don't have powers.
yeah.
Why would
But
they
let's talk about
follow?
something that let's talk about some superhero content that's actually good. Deadpool trailer.
Oh,
Deadpool
yeah.
Wolverine. So our fucking boy Tom Wamsgans is in this.
I do not know how he did such a good American accent. Him speaking in a British accent is so weird to me. He sounds like unrecognizable.
Damn.
So for context, me and Beck really like Succession, and one of the biggest players in Succession is a guy named Tom, and he's American in the show, but he's played by a British actor. And Deadpool, we see him being like the head of the TVA, and he's like has a British accent.
You know, it is
Damn.
crazy to me. Like British actors can do really good American accents. Like Bella Ramsey is British, and she does a great
Really?
American accent for Last of Us.
Tom
Yeah.
Holland,
Oh yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown.
But yeah,
Benedict
and
Cumberbatch.
so
Yeah.
it
Aaron
looks. I
Gilliam.
think so far, I really like the trailer look of it. I feel like it made sense to bring the TVA. I'm glad that they're not destroying the Logan timeline because I think that's very important. That it's more like a multiversal Wolverine and not because like the Logan timeline, that's a very sacred, important timeline.
Yeah, it's a very
And I
emotional
really-
death.
Yeah. And so I'm glad. It's very interesting the way they do this. They're bringing like a whole slew of people. I hear there's a lot of news. I hear Taylor Swift might be in this movie,
Mm.
which is
doubt that.
interesting.
It'd be fun if she just shows him in the background for 5 seconds, so they
Like,
can.
why would she do that?
Because she is friends with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Mm,
But no, she's like a character named Dazzler or something.
mm.
But so this movie is probably going to, I think it's going to be a very multiversal movie. I do think we're going to see a lot of different types of characters in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna bring back like some of the dead Marvel characters. I feel like they're gonna do a Quicksilver thing because that one was so stupid, like with WandaVision and then him just dying in Ultron.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Aiden, what did you think about the trailer?
I think that him being with other characters and now a full universe is going to lead to better fourth wall breaky things.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Like, Before,
It's-
I mean,
yeah.
it was still good, but like, yeah, I don't
But
know.
now you
I
can,
think
like,
it'll be better.
You're gonna make a lot
'cause
more
you know
MCU references.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like the comic book where it's called Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Well, this
Yeah.
movie, I think, is like going to be the opposite. Like Deadpool saves the Marvel Universe,
Oh, he like
Maybe.
brings back
and
all the dead characters.
or something like that. Because he does call himself Marvel Jesus in the trailer.
That was
He does say
funny.
that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it looks pretty hype. So we're getting a lot of, I think, good superhero content this summer because The Boys season 4 is coming back.
Oh yeah.
Deadpool, Deadpool 3 or Deadpool and Wolverine. I heard a lot of different Deadpool 3, Deadpool,
Deadpool
Wolverine,
and Wolverine
and
is
Deadpool
what
and
it's called.
Friends.
Deadpool and Wolverine is the official title.
What about
Yeah.
Wolverine and
But-
Asshole?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But no, it looks pretty good, and it's nice thing because last time Deadpool came out, it was like 2018 or something.
Yeah, so it's been
Yeah.
5 years. 6
That's
years.
more than 5 years.
But yeah, I wonder if they like gave any like oversight being like you can't mess up the universe this much, or if they were just like
I mean, I
okay,
don't think
do
they
whatever
pay
you want.
attention. They didn't have a Bible before. I don't think they know what's going on in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what do you think they're going? What Moon Knight is going to be in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie?
I mean, his
Yeah, I mean,
ice
like, are they
cream
allowed to
shop
just like go and say like Moon Knight? We're gonna kill him. The funniest thing would if Deadpool just goes and kills every single Eternals and they can act like that movie never happened.
But yeah, Harry
Bro.
Styles was in that.
That would be a really funny bit. I feel like they could do that
I
also.
love to see Ryan Reynolds kill Harry Styles. I think that would be really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds has killed Ryan Reynolds in the
It's
movie.
Yeah.
But I gotta ask this question, Piper, do you care about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's skip over
Oh.
that. I don't want to.
Okay, but like guys,
Is there something that is there a reason I should care?
the
I know, kind of
Taylor
interesting.
Swift
Super Bowl.
concert movie is coming to Disney Plus.
It's no. It's the Eras Tour Taylor's version.
Yes.
Everything's Taylor's version.
Okay, but you know, I feel like the perfect viewing experience is this, and then we just have someone in the other room watching FNAF and trying to enjoy
Really
it while we're
loudly.
watching Taylor Swift, you know?
I think that's a great
I-
idea.
I did like the movie. It was
FNAF?
Is there like any
No.
character development? Do
no.
they like
it's just a concert.
do they face
It's
struggles?
literally just a concert.
Does it follow the 3-act structure?
But it was
Rule
really
of
good
threes?
and I cried.
Oh, you cried?
Yeah,
Have I ever cried in a movie theater? I don't think
I've cried.
have.
I cried,
cried at the Owl
cried
House.
at the Ugly Doll movie.
I could barely sit through that movie.
I loved
being
that
honest.
movie. I cried. That was the first movie I ever cried at.
Wow.
That was a very
You
emotional.
cried
guys
in
really don't.
I cried in
What do you
Endgame.
guys have in common in watching?
What?
Other than like Avatar, what do you guys have in common with watching?
Well, Avatar.
We're
Psych.
So nothing.
Like-
Great.
Monk.
Oh,
We watched the Monk movie together.
Yeah.
What else?
Aiden, do you watch things with your sister?
no.
He
No.
wanted to watch Girl Meets World, but
We
did you guys
watched Winx.
Winx? You guys know what Winx is?
No.
Oh, you guys didn't have a good
It's a bad
childhood.
live action.
Well, so there was a
adaptation.
really good TV show that was like kind of like anime style, but it was Italian.
Yeah, it was an Italian
And-
anime.
It was about these like fairy girls called Winx, Winx. Awesome show. Love it. Then they made a live action version of it and we watched the first season. We couldn't sit through the second season. But yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah.
What else?
Hmm.
We have music in
Has any-
common.
Has anyone
I
watched
think
anything else?
my highest Spotify blend is with him. It was like 90.
You listen to the Steven Universe soundtrack?
No, I don't actually.
Sadly, she does not listen to any
Mhm.
of the soundtracks that I listen to.
Wow.
She has seen the High School Musical trilogy. I have seen High School Musical the series.
You never saw the 3 movies?
I've seen the first one, but I haven't seen the second.
We have to
two.
watch them. They're
Okay,
really
you need to
good.
watch High School Musical the series.
I don't really want to.
but you
You
should.
don't
It's
really need
really
to.
good.
It's just like long.
You know what you gotta watch? You gotta watch the Iron Claw with Zac Efron. Best Zac
Oh,
Efron
yeah.
What is
performance.
that? Is that the one where he like gets his balls grabbed or something?
What? No, it's it's like a sad, dark movie about the tragedy of the Von Erich family, a wrestling family that most of the members killed themselves, and he's like, he plays the one guy that doesn't kill
Wait, so
himself.
Is it a
Zac Efron
musical?
plays a Russian guy?
No, they're not Russian. It's just a wrestling name. It's a
Wrestling.
Oh,
sad
wrestling.
movie.
I think you said Russian.
Wrestling.
They have a really good emotion.
Wrestling.
They like burst into song in the final ring and they sing about their feelings. It's really good.
I want
They
to watch
don't.
that. I want to watch some
They don't.
wrestlers sing about their feelings.
I think
Sounds
we can
good.
find a
It's
wrestling
lying.
musical somewhere.
I believe it.
Yeah, I can't. I'm so sad Rocky wasn't a musical.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
boxing, but okay.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay.
All right.
I'm tired.
But yeah, I think.
Any other
I
topic?
guess.
I have to
Let's
talk about
see.
Ace Attorney still.
Oh yeah, let's get
Oh,
the
yeah,
Ace
we never-
Attorney
we-
in here.
We
He
can't
dressed
get
up
out
as
of.
Ace Attorney.
That got skipped over. I started talking about it, and then we went off on 300 tangents.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but guys,
Oh,
Fantastic Four has been cast. With
Oh, we gotta talk about that.
Fantastic
Wow.
Four.
Really?
Okay, I actually want to talk about this 1 minute before Aiden talks about Ace Attorney.
Mm.
I know people are saying they're very anti Pedro Pascal for being this role, but have you seen a bad role from Pedro Pascal? You know,
I
like
have
he's a very
not.
good actor, and I think it's a very I think he will fit this role pretty well. The rest of the cast seems pretty good. They got the guy from the
Wait, who does he
Bear
play?
and Andor to be the Thing. What?
He plays Reed Richards.
Okay.
And they got the guy from the Andor and the Bear to be the Thing, Iban Mas Bachach.
Really
You
likes
say
the bear.
Bahwa?
I can't say his name. It's like, yeah. And they got Vanessa Kirby to be Sue Richards.
I don't know.
Sue-
And they got the guy from Stranger Things season 4, Joseph Quinn, to be
Human Torch.
the Human Torch. Yeah. So I think it's actually a pretty solid cast. But I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
I think it.
Well,
looks
We're
that-
just
well,
supposed to talk about Ace Attorney.
2025 is going to be really
I've been
packed.
waiting for like 4 weeks.
You got Superman, you got Batman 2, you got Fantastic
GTA
Four.
6.
A ton of good superhero stuff coming out next year.
Okay, can we hear about Ace
But
Attorney?
guys, Wicked.
Our-
Guys, there was a trailer for Wicked at the Super Bowl.
None of
Oh my
us
God,
have
shut up.
seen Wicked.
Did you guys see the CeraVe commercial?
It had Michael Cera,
did.
guys.
That was my favorite.
I like
by far.
the Minions one was also really
no,
funny.
No, but hi, I'm Michael Cera, and my passion is human skin. That was-
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, but guys,
Thanks, Michael
Minions
Cera.
making fun of AI was also really good.
That one was good. It's true.
But speaking of Wicked, guys, so the problem for this is me is like you watch the trailer and it says Wicked. Turns out it's Wicked Part 1. They're just doing a Dune where they don't say it's Part 1. I'm like, also, why does it need to be 2 parts? It's like,
It's a musical. It doesn't need to be 2
is the
parts.
musical like over 3 hours?
So, musicals are 3 hours.
Apparently, though, the musical it drops off in the second act. Apparently, so they're putting all the good stuff as a first movie, and then putting all the lame stuff as a movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
what
the
I
Wizard of
figured.
Oz. I've had a ton of like weird like spin-off stuff because of just how popular it
How
is.
much spin-off stuff are we talking about?
Lost in Oz, remember?
What's that?
You didn't watch Lost in Oz? The Amazon Prime original animated TV show about Dorothy's daughter being stuck in Oz, where it's futuristic, and
Jesus
to get
Christ.
home, she needs to get one of every element, including Esmond, called like Ozandium, and that's very
I
rare.
never played. I played Temple Run Wizard of Oz version
Yeah.
Awesome.
on my like iPad Mini.
What about the Muppets
Oh.
Wizard of Oz, where what's his face shows up with a lightsaber? Quentin Tarantino shows up with a lightsaber, and he just goes in front of Kermit the Frog, in front of the random.
What about
Wait,
the
What is
Oz
Wicked
and Once
actually
Upon a
about?
It's like the backstory of the Wicked Witch of the West.
So she was good?
Yeah,
it's like-
and then she
Mhm.
became
it's like the Wizard of Oz from her side or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows
It's a
I haven't seen
prequel.
that before. I'm like
What about,
90% sure I've seen that before then.
But what about like the Oz in Once Upon a Time where Dorothy's actually gay for Red Riding Hood? That's something that happened.
is this isn't like the show called Oz?
Once Upon a Time.
Oh, Once Upon
No,
a
Once
Time.
Upon a Time. Back,
is
the
that
show called Oz is about
where like Snow White and they all like came into like Earth and
life, real life.
oh,
Yeah.
I watched that show.
I watched 7 seasons of that. Yeah.
I forgot
But
about that
no,
show.
Beck, the show Oz is about a bunch of guys in prison.
Oh.
Sounds
It's called
cool.
Oswald Penitentiary.
Yeah.
I actually watched all of Oz. Very good show. A lot of male prison rape.
He's
in that
wearing
show.
the cellmate shirt to prove it.
Yeah.
With the
With the
doodad on
bandana.
his
Yeah,
head.
inmate 2023.
Wow. I wonder if that's a
Prison
year
Uri
he
made a
graduated.
comeback.
But tell us about Ace Attorney finally.
Yeah, so this game is the 5th game, so you have to have the backstories of all these characters already built into your mind. But don't worry, one of them doesn't have a backstory, and a new one gets invented. So there's this character named Apollo Justice, and this character named Athena Sykes, and they're in court, and they're defending
Athena?
this girl named Juniper Lee, and then the thing blows up. The whole court blows up, and they're like, "Shoot!" The court blew up.
Oh, I've been watching him play this.
Juniper Woods is been blamed. Who did the bomb? Was it the guy named Ted Donate? I don't think he blew up the bomb. It couldn't have been him, but it was him the whole time. Then we go to the second case. Then the second case is a flashback. We're flashing back. We're out of order, and in this flashback, it's Athena's first case, and they solve a crime. That one doesn't really matter.
Play as Athena or Apollo?
You play as you play as Athena, Apollo, and Phoenix,
Ooh.
who's the main character.
Is that why it's called Dual Destinies?
Yeah, because there's 3 characters. Yes, you're right.
It's called Dual
so-
Destinies because there's 3 characters.
Yes.
No, it's called Dual Destinies because it was on the 3DS and there's 2 screens.
But Aiden, did you save? Did you save your game?
This is a
Yes, I-
3DS game?
Yeah.
I thought
It's-
this was
yeah.
like a new game that you just played.
Well, it was
port.
ported as a trilogy. She's losing her mind.
He
Okay.
hates this.
Guys, we're
Third
2 hours
case rolls
deep.
around.
I'm so
We get it.
tired.
We get introduced to this character that we've never met before. Her name is Juniper Woods. Hey, that's the character from the first case. Turns out she's friends with Athena, and turns out that court has been in a dark age of law where bad stuff has happened, and forging evidence is happening, and bribery is happening. And we just learn a little bit more about Athena, and we play as Phoenix, and it's good. And then 4th case rolls around. Here's when the plot actually starts to thicken. There's this space center.
What's
It's called
blowing up was not the
Gaxa.
plot thickening.
We'll get there, okay? There was this space station called Gaxa, and it blows up. 2 bombs. There's a 3rd one, but it doesn't go off. And this guy, his name is Clay. It's Apollo's lifelong friend that we've just been introduced to in this case.
It's a space station.
Yeah, true. And he dies. He gets murdered by this guy named Soul Starbucks.
Soul
And-
bad guy?
Yep, Soul Starbucks, and he did the
I love
murder, but they're like
Starbucks.
he couldn't have done the murder because bad things. And Athena, she
Of course you
doesn't
do.
like.
You're a white woman.
Yeah, Athena doesn't like this space station, and Phoenix is like, why doesn't she like the space station? And then we learn, here's the plot. There's this guy named Black Quill. He's been in prison, and he's been a prosecutor even though he's been in prison. Turns out 7 years ago, he was convicted of murder for killing Athena's mom, and she watched it happen. Crazy. And she's been repressing these memories since she was 11, and she's been an attorney this whole time to prosecute him to get out of prison because he didn't do it.
Ooh.
Yeah, he did not do it. Keep that in mind because he keeps saying he did it. So then there's this lady. Her name is Aura Blackquill. It's Blackquill's sister, and she keeps everybody hostage. Everyone's held hostage, and I've missed like 5 other things because I'm trying to wrap up the podcast quickly.
No, keep going. Keep going.
No, keep going.
We can go
We
another
haven't even
20
gotten
minutes.
to
Aiden.
what
No,
I've
I-
been
And
watching.
we can go another 20 minutes.
All right,
You watched
so I
Deep Dive,
forgot to
Nikola.
say
I've
the
watched
murder.
other stuff too.
The murder of Apollo's friend turns out it wasn't the guy we thought it was, and Athena's fingerprints were found on a weapon, and now she's the one that's being convicted of the murder, even though she wasn't there.
Wow.
But then she was there because she actually was there. Then we find then Blackpool
She
sister
was
holds
there
everybody.
because she actually was there.
Yeah.
What a line.
Hold on. I'm getting a in and out order.
What? You
What
DoorDash.
Nikola, what have you been watching?
Okay, so I also watched the brand new episode
Still
of the
talking.
Grand Tour that just came out today. In this episode, they have to cross two
Guys, this is gonna
African
be-
countries. They have to cross the Sahara in Africa and make it to let me pull up a map of Africa. I forgot the name of these countries.
Okay, so what happens?
Okay,
is
they have to
that-
cross Marijuana and go into Senegal
Guys,
and
they're-
leave
they've
through
been turned to
Dakar,
stone. They're in the shadow.
recreating
Pokemon.
the
And then
Paris
NK
Dakar
Reich from
race
Sweden.
with a cheap sports car that they've
It
modified to
turns
turn
out
into
that the
Dakar
detective, the whole
off-road
game,
racers.
committed
And they do
both
that, and they
crimes.
drive into a
One shot
minefield, and
evil.
somebody dies, but
don't-
they're
True
able to
adventure
make it
never
away.
saves.
So that's the
end of the
episode.
episode, guys. Please like
That is
and
the end of the
subscribe.
episode.
I'll see you guys next week. Have
Wait,
a
weather,
good
weather.
the weather
Oh, yeah.
right now.
And Piper needs to recommend something.
Yeah, what's
Piper
your
does need to
recommendation?
Sabrina Teenage Witch. That's my favorite
53
show of all
degrees
time.
Right now.
Wow. But imagine liking a show about witches. That's crazy.
It's not like
True.
really about that. There's like a lot
All
more.
right,
that-
everybody,
So that's-
have a good time.
It is currently 51 degrees.
It's 24 here.
Yeah, what here, Beck?
Oh, I don't have the weather for Utah.
Whatever. See you guys next time.
Play
Remember,
Dual Destiny.
A true adventure never
24
saves.
degrees.
And always remember, a true adventurer
Never say.
never saves.